All right, we live. To nobody, but if anyone's watching the replay in the future, here are Adam's burps. People who do not turn in for body noises, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
I'm on the wrong side. I'm supposed to be over there.
While we wait for people to come in, because nobody's here yet, just watching this in the future, we're gonna eat cake and see if anybody shows up.
Eat cake.
I suppose maybe I should try to advertise the stream somewhere, but I'll do that in a little bit. Oh, hey, Kellison's here. Hi, Kellison. Kellison, we're gonna have cake.
We could share, but
I mean, you want to come in here and be on the stream? All right, I don't think I should try to open this and read chat at the same time. Who else is here? Hello, Peck, and insert cheesy pun here. It is a triple chocolate cake. Let's see if I can show people. Look at the chocolatiness. Behold.
I've failed to make a cute caterpillar-y cake
so far.
I've been practicing, but I don't have a finished product for tonight for the actual.
I was totally thinking about making them guess what you were gonna bake for me, and nobody would guess it. But unfortunately, you have revealed the secret.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't reveal how old I am. I'm gonna make people guess that.
I don't know how old you are. I'll guess with them.
I told you 2 days ago when you were how old am I?
I still don't remember how old I am. We can guess my age together too.
Yeah, everybody guess our ages. He just had a birthday too on Christmas. His birthday is on.
I'm pretty sure I lied to Lee. They're like, "How old are you again?" And I'm like,
30. It does look good, says Calvin. You want to come and have some? So we're going to eat some cake and wait for people to join in. And then I am going to look at the couple of... I made a post on my channel being hey, make assumptions about me. And if I get enough, I will make a video. And I didn't get that many. So I'm just going to use it in the stream. And then when I run out of those, I'll probably work on some projects while we hang out and chat on my birthday eve. My birthday is tomorrow, technically. But when do you ever get a birthday that falls on a weekend?
Oh, I always get the day after my birthday. Well, almost, except for twice.
Yeah, because capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the dog is doing a tippy tappy. So if you hear her claws, she's just tippy tapping around the living room. She has already been for a walk, and I even filled up her doggy puzzle, and she's already gotten all the treats out of it. So now she's just.
She hasn't gotten all of them out.
No, she did.
No, Giorgio got at least one of them out.
Oh, okay. She got most of her treats out of the doggy puzzle.
All of the treats are now out.
Aw, Abby says, happy birthday to my future dev editor. I hope to be. I'll be your developmental editor. I've got at least one person who I think is gonna use me for all of their books, and that's very exciting to me. Yes. And I really like their book as well, so super happy. Yeah, I want to read the sequel, and I get to read it early.
I hired by someone whose work you enjoy. That's useful. That's useful.
It's that great combination of I actually like their book, and they like me as an editor. Not the perfect fit for everybody, but nobody could be the perfect fit for everybody.
Maybe ChatGPT could be the perfect fit for everybody.
No, because people are trying to use ChatGPT and it's not going well. Don't do that.
No?
No.
I was thinking about doing that as a project for one of your old works.
Should do it.
No?
No.
Not even Child of Fire?
No. ChatGPT can keep its grubby little mitts off of my fiction. Although if I give it one of my first drafts, it can memorize how many times my characters smile. And then I'll make it worse. I'll make ChatGPT a worse writer with my first draft.
Well, GPT doesn't train off of any of the data you submit to it, so you wouldn't make it worse. But you could ask it, you could feed it your work, it would and ask it, how many times did I say the word smile?
I mean, I can do that with the search feature in Word, so. Can it do? Okay, I am chewing. If I say, how many times did I use the word smile and equivalent words like grin or like can identify other words that mean smile?
Yep.
And get all of them.
Yeah, good.
Because then it'd be more useful than the search feature, because then I have to remember all of the words that I might have used for smile.
It can do that, and it could also give you like what percentage of your words or like how frequently it came up. Like, yeah, you used it 1,000 times, but that was only like 1% of your sentences. Or some of it we might have to do the like paid for, especially if you're going to like load all of your work. I think right now with like really affordable levels, I could probably do like a chapter at a time.
Lunar Muse says Pro Writing Aid isn't even the best. Do you use Pro Writing Aid, Lunar Muse? Excuse me, now I'm making.
While you wait for their answer,
noises.
You can educate Adam on what Pro Writer Muse is.
Pro Writing Aid is another like AI kind of thing. Not really an AI necessarily, but it's another one of those things like Grammarly that like fixes your work.
Right.
But all of those things like Pro Writing Aid and Grammarly cannot replace a human looking at your work, and when you try to use it to replace a human, you can tell.
Well, my thought was that ChatGPT might be a good type editor, not and would also be able to give you like a good high level understanding of some of what is going on. Like there are things ChatGPT can do, especially if you use good prompts for it. It is not a good generic writer though. Like it's not gonna
Lunar Muse says it helps with some grammar but misses context so much. Yeah, the context thing is the issue. That's why you need a human to look at it, because the human brains are doing so much better than the AIs at certain things still. Which is a little bit sad, because I happen to know my brain pretty well, and it's not that impressive. It certainly is a ball of weird squishy meat in my head filled with electricity.
Meat.
That's my thinking meat.
No. The bowl of rice meat does look a lot like a brain. So I think we might have a new analogy. I think I was always doing like electrified tapioca pudding, but if this rice meat comes along.
What is rice meat? Dare I ask? I ask with great trepidation and dread.
I haven't dug deep into it. They've only like released information about it recently, at least in my feeds. They have genetically engineered, bioengineered specific rices to grow meat at the same time as they grow rice. So it is rice meat, because they're like you have a rice kernel, and then inside the kernel is meat that has grown in the kernel.
Alrighty then. Boy, is there anything science can't do?
I doubt it. I mean, some things will take more time.
Hello, Firelight, who is still at work. Good for you.
Ew. This late on a Friday?
I say good for you not because you're at work, but because you're listening to this stream while at work, which is excellent life choices. And I have not answered any assumptions yet. We're eating cake first, cake, then assumptions. Then I'm probably going to color postcards and do whatever else I feel like.
Cake first, then death.
Cake first. Cake or death. Boy, nobody's gonna understand that reference in like ever now. So we're so old. It's from our youth.
I mean, I bet many of our
Has
audience.
Cassidy even seen that Eddie Izzard special? It's classic, but
I was assuming Monty Python is what I was.
no,
thinking.
Cake or Death is from Eddie Izzard.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it comes. No. Spanish Inquisition does it first.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not Cake or Death. They do the fluffy pillows, but the Cake or Death is Eddie Izzard.
All right, I need to one more slice of cake, and I must go.
Back
to
me
the
up on
thing.
this, chat. Eddie Izzard is Cake or Death.
Not the original.
He may have gotten I'm sorry, Eddie Izzard is using she, her pronouns now. She may have gotten the idea from the Spanish Inquisition bit with the fluffy pillows, but the Cake or Death is Eddie Izzard. No, Jojo, you may not have my tea. Hello, Jean Young. I have not seen Madam Web. I honestly don't have that much interest in that particular one.
Oh.
We could still go see it if you wanted to. I just am not like, oh boy,
All right. Let me see.
Firelight's working from home. Not quite as adventurous, but still high quality choices. Firelight working and listening to birthday live stream. Adam is looking up Cake or Death, which I know is Eddie Izzard, but he believes is Monty Python.
Well, I'm not denying that it was an Eddie Izzard thing. I just believe that it was originally part of the Spanish Inquisition skits of Monty Python.
I think maybe you're just mixing because Eddie Izzard also does a bit about the Spanish Inquisition. Sorry, this is.
It might be one of those things that like the Matrix has glitched and like it isn't recorded that way anymore, but people remember that it was, and like.
By people you mean you.
Can occasionally get evidence of.
So like what is that called? What is that called? Where you like are certain it's one way and then it was never that way, like the Berenstein Bears thing, the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
You just Mandela affected yourself with the Eddie Izzard versus Monty Python. Nah. Don't lose the cake. Let's see what are people saying. The beard is so bright I can find you at night, says Hedgehog Dilemma.
Yes, you probably can. And from a distance.
We make him stand on the corner and use him as a stop sign.
We went to a hockey game the other day and we were mildly lost, but our companions found us for some reason.
Just, I don't know how they did it, but. John Young asked, are there any ideas for your future novels? There's too many ideas for my future novels. That's the problem. Somebody today, I had done a short about being a developmental editor, and somebody commented like, a lot of authors are worried about people stealing their stories, and I'm like, I don't need to steal your stories. I have too many. Like, if I ever get to the point where I need to steal somebody else's thing, I should just give up being an author because like I have so many ideas in the noggin. It's a problem, actually. It's a legitimate problem.
Mm-hmm. There are several stories of hers that I want her to write, and she's moved on because she's like, it's too far in the backlog of ideas.
It's a constant queue fighting for and right now I'm thinking about maybe dabbling in writing a play, which is a terrible idea because I don't know if I can do something that's only dialogue. Like, bad idea. But what was I gonna say? I forgot. But yes, so many ideas, and they are all fighting with. They're at war. And I promised myself that I could start drafting again once I finished with Second Floor. And Second Floor is now, currently as we speak, with my editor. So it is moving along and will be published eventually. If I can figure out this friggin' cover. The cover is gonna kill me. So frustrated. Of course you had. Firelight says, I had an idea for a play with Bigfoot. Of course you did. That is completely on brand. Hedgehog Dilemma demands the play. I know. I think I might be gonna go with that cover, Hedgehog Dilemma. I just need to figure out the font. I really think it's the font that's throwing everybody and making them like hate the rest of it.
I think there is some lighting choices with it, and Ani has sent me some stuff about lighting suggestions on it, and I keep forgetting to talk to you about it.
I have I've made some tweaks. I just poke at it every now and then when I have a little extra time. And I did like darken the building because everyone was saying the building was too bright.
Mhm.
So I darkened that, and I'm still fucking with the font. So, but yeah, once I mentioned that to Alyssa that it was kind of based on Only Murders in the Building, it makes a lot more sense. But clearly, not enough people have seen Only Murders in the Building.
No.
Because it is kind of based on that opening sequence from Only Murders in the Building. Thank you for the happy birthday, John. What's happening just after my birthday, Firelight? Rip Julian just after her birthday. What's happening? I missed it. Cheesy Pun says, I have an idea for 2 plays I want to produce for my community theater, but that requires finishing things. Yes. How do you handle so many wrong opinions with grace? I assume you mean everybody who's telling me that they hate the cover and they're just clearly very wrong about that. It's a challenge, I have to say. Their wrongness every day. Their incorrectitude. I've never had this much trouble with a cover or been like this uncertain of a cover. Like, I really like the cover that I have designed, but basically 2 other people agree with me. Cover gonna kill you. Yeah, it is. Lunar Muse says, would I have to finish typing my manuscript before you dev edit it? Not necessarily. People do send me in sections. If it's your first draft, I'm gonna recommend that you yourself go through it at least once, just because you're gonna notice stuff that you like can fix beforehand before I even need to get in there. Or alternately, what I have somebody else planning to do is I have a type of developmental editing where it's not quite so like nitty gritty and line by line. And so you just send me the whole thing and I read it, and then I send you back a developmental letter. So I notice big picture stuff versus like the little nitty gritty stuff. And that might be a good thing to do with like if you want to do a first draft, because it's cheaper and it's more big picture stuff versus like I literally will be like, this sentence flows clunkily. Do you want to rewrite? You know, like minutia. Designated bag to scream into. Hedgehog says, maybe it's because they aren't my friend, but Ani sent you an example of proper lighting and not even my cover, but eyes rolled to the back of my head. Okay, second draft, I think maybe we could start like talking like developmental editor, but I hesitate. I want people to use me as a developmental editor, but like sending me first drafts for like the nitty gritty edits, probably not the best idea.
There are more efficient uses of your money and resources.
Yeah.
Also, Hedgehog, Ani is a front-end developer, so they have a decent amount of experience with getting usable aesthetic down. And they did actually like the cover in general, but was like, hey, here are some...
you should have led with that.
But understood why some people might be having some issues with it.
Three people who like the cover. I do agree that the font is a problem. I completely agree. I just am struggling to find a font that I like and everybody else likes. It's being a problem child. Lunar Muse, you handwrite your first draft? Holy shit, I do not. I would have carpal tunnel in 10 seconds.
Impressive. I would prefer to do it that way. And I suppose I've never finished a draft, but the vast majority of my drafts have also been handwritten. Handwritten or manually typed on a physical typewriter that goes click,
Chippy,
click,
chippy,
click,
chippy.
click.
The good thing about being married to an author is that you have managed to stomp down the typical male idea that you can just write a perfect book in one go. No offense to the guys out there, but there are a lot of guys walking around who think that any old second now, they're just going to write the great American novel perfect on the first try. And no.
That's the overconfidence of the underqualified white guy. Although I still think I have a pretty reasonable chance against most bears.
No, you don't. You don't.
Not like a Pizzly.
Unless you're talking about gay men, you don't have a pretty reasonable chance against most bears. You have a pretty reasonable chance of being mistaken for a bear, if we're talking gay men or the wild animal.
No, I'm not talking a Pizzly. I don't think I could take an average Pizzly.
Baby black bear, maybe.
Actually, I'd be more scared of a baby black bear because the mother's around, and
true,
maybe I could take her alone, but when she's angry about her kid.
But you don't even have a shot against a grizzly bear of really any age. Those things will fuck you up. I was about to say I have a better chance against bears because he kind of looks like one.
Thanks. I appreciate your confidence in me, if not else.
We have a question. Which genre do you fit? Fantasy or realistic literary fiction? I think pretty obviously. What me or is that me or you?
Like, well, Phoenix.
Yeah, but even then, that's not. I don't do literary fiction. I am not highbrow enough for literary fiction. I write dumb person fiction. But or do you mean just our aesthetics? Like, do I fit better into fantasy or contemporary? I think it's our fantasy with that beard right now. And those glasses.
Yeah.
You definitely are secretly a wizard. Or not so secretly.
Maybe not so secretly.
Definitely magical explosions in the house kind of vibes.
That fits with me.
Firelight says, Adam, remember, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night. Good lesson for bears. And if it's gay, okay. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Firelight says you could just do a black cover with scary words, with words in the scary font. Looking at a lot of thrillers, because it's a supernatural thriller, looking at a lot of other thrillers, they are really simple covers, and I kind of don't like them. Like, it's usually just like one object or like a cabin in a woods or just a woods or like a road or something, and then a lot of heavy lifting is done by the font. And I'm like, So maybe that's what I'm missing.
Just make it a very muscly font so it can
do the
heavy lifting. Have like every curve be a bulging bicep.
Yes. And they all have the weird filter effect too. Says Hedgehog, and that is true. I don't like it personally, not my thing. Like, just looking at like Gillian Flynn, I don't know if it's a hard or soft G, her covers, it's like some weird abstract thing, like Gone Girl. The cover tells you zero things. It tells you the title of the book and who wrote it. No, not helpful.
Well,
okay, it's Gillian. Okay.
We're old school readers who like to wander the library to pick stuff out. But in this day and age, you can get a lot of that information from Goodreads, etc.
Yeah, most people, I don't know anybody who only reads because of the cover, but I do like to put a lot of like little details into my cover that if you read the book, you can then go back and look at the cover and be like, ah. And there's a lot of those actually in the cover that I'm working on right now for Second Floor. But without knowing it, then it's just clutter. It just looks like clutter. But like the break in the roof your sister was like, well, that's not how, because there's a crack. And your sister's like, well, that's not how brick cracks, you know, crack along the seam. And I'm like, it's not supposed to look how brick cracks. It's supposed to be reminiscent of lightning, because the tarot card, the Tower, with lightning striking a building, features heavily into the story. But nobody's going to know that. Yes. Use the perished font. I don't know what that is.
Perished font.
Hello, Contessa Dark. Welcome in. Contessa Dark says, if for your birthday wish you could unread one of your I'm assuming read-alongs, and reclaim the part of your soul that died, which would it be? You know, I could be happy in my life if I had never read Fourth Wing. I don't feel like that was it offered any kind of net positive to my life. Like, that's the parish font? Interesting.
The B has a bite taken out of it. Sorry to distract you from Dark Contessa's
very
question.
Extra font. And now I've become distracted.
The part of your kitchen.
Oh, Fourth Wing. I don't need Fourth Wing. It's doing absolutely nothing. Except it got me a decent number of views. But other than that, it's doing nothing for my brain.
Well, you often do have to give up a part of yourself and your brain to achieve some of those life metrics. Viewers, monies.
They do like it better when I am tortured. I get, they don't want to see me be happy. That's boring.
Indeed.
And nobody wants to see reviewers be happy. I've also figured out, I think, one of the reasons that people like negative reviews better is a lot of times negative reviews, not only do they often point out more details, but they can also follow the plot of the book, where positive reviews don't want to give away spoilers because they want you to go read it. And so you can't go through point by point. And people really like the going through the book point by point.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what to do about that except for spoil the books that I enjoy as well.
I mean, you could.
I could. I'm thinking about
Lesbian Nerdy does if they have like a 5-minute video with spoilers, they just have a 90-second intro. Like, there's spoilers here, go away.
Which I get, but I think that's bad for your algorithm.
Yeah, no, I concur. I think they spend way too much time trying to shoo people away. Because they're like, I can't spoil the book. Don't make me do it.
You want people to watch your whole video, or at least to a certain point, because it doesn't even count as an actual view if they leave too soon into the video.
And there's also not many people like watching people agonize over and telling you to go away.
Yeah. You don't start a video. You don't go, ooh, an hour-long video about this. And then you don't want it only be 30 minutes long because you have to leave because there's spoilers. So yeah, I definitely am thinking about just spoiling books that I like and be like, we're going to go through the plot.
And you do a non-spoiler review and then a spoiler-filled read-along.
I suppose I could do like a non-spoiler short, like make it 2 different things, and be like, watch the short if you want just my ideas of it. And here on this video, we're gonna do spoilers.
Yep.
All right, let's see if the chat has had anything to say. No, Nightbane, it killed a lot of brain cells, but also it was so goofy. I was never bored. It was one of the most poorly written things ever, but I was never bored. With Fourth Wing, I was bored. And I'm just reading and reading, when is something gonna happen? Besides sex and bad flirting. Suffering cells, yes indeed.
Suffer more.
Hedgehog says, I think you could manage it with a middling popular book as someone who likes your brain. Yeah, I like my brain too sometimes. Brains. Yeah, Nightbane was wild for all the wrong reasons. Yep. Today I just filmed my how would I fix Nightbane, and it's basically a ground up rewrite Usually I try to be like, well, here's some things we could do to get the author like the same thing that like what they were going for. And with Nightbane, I was like, nope. Because what was she going for? What she was going for is a book to come out and to make money off of it. That's what she was going for. Let's see. Carrie Can reads, forgot the plot, got me to read Sarah J. Maas, but she does it very different. She managed it and being available for free on audiobook. Oh no, you read Sarah J. Maas, which one? And
for free.
What are your thoughts? I mean, that's the way to do it, is read it for free. We have a library. I need to go get a library card here and start getting these books.
They are part of a 36 library system.
Oh, I'm still using the Winnifox system for back home.
I know. Bigger libraries in the Winnifox, but I think the something river, Inter River, like is what they were called or something like that, has more libraries in it. So like.
To fix Lightlark series, it would have to start with book 1, unfortunately. Yeah, I kind of like treated. Oh.
We have a stalker who may have come for cake.
She's here. She wants the cake. She wants our cake. Coming out of the darkness for cake.
I might Schmeagle that way.
This is Callison. She lives on our property. So if you see her in the chat, she actually lives here. Wild guest appears. Yes, indeed. Firelight says hi. Hang on, I'll wait until the talking stops and let people gather themselves after the wild Cassidy appeared. Oh, I remember what I was saying. For Nightbane, I just kind of had to pretend that the first book hadn't happened and just kind of make it a different book. Like use a couple of elements from the first book and otherwise kind of ignore it. But yeah. Okay, Hedgehog says the first one. There's a lot of first ones. She's got a couple of series, but I'm gonna guess it's the Fairy Smut one. It wasn't as heinous as people were telling me. Fairy of the genre. No, I think like the first 3 in that series are. I haven't read them, but I don't think they're as bad as everyone thinks they are. But it just gets worse. But then there's a 180 on the male lead in the next that makes me go WTF. So I don't know, may worsen. People's favorite is the middle book where the 180 happens because she stops liking the blonde one and starts liking the dark-haired one, which is inherently better. Welcome, Cassidy. I'm gonna angle myself. There we go. Now I have the 3. My powers.
Like we sit on your shoulders.
My powers are increasing. Yes, come
to me. Which one of us is the devil and which one is the angel? But the relatives were both just mischievous demons.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not safe. Actually, can I signal for help in some way?
You'll have 5,000 project ideas.
Yeah, no, these 2 are dangerous together. Because yeah, they're always scheming I would say something, but it's several somethings. There's always schemes.
We have woad plants on order.
Hedgehog thinks that you're the devil, Adam. But she would be inclined to think that you were the angel since you were her battle wife.
That's true.
I can be the devil, and Callison can be the demon on the other shoulder.
So, Cheesy Pun says, blink thrice if you need help. I'm just going to be blinking for the rest of this. Firelight says, that's because Sarah J. Maas can't write relationships. Whatever the current relationship she wants is how it always was. Okay, so basically she just decides, I'm tired of this one, and now it's this one. And I'll just destroy another character to make that happen. All right, I'm overheating. The best is coming off. All right, I think now that we have eaten our portion of cake, I will go to the post and see if people make assumptions about me. Feel free to make more in the chat or ask me anything or just do whatever, entertain yourselves. let's see. I need my YouTube studio on my phone. And then I need to find that post. Figure out where that is. I don't use YouTube Studio on my phone very much. Content.
Well, Julian is doing stuff. We could entertain the audience by talking about our projects and schemes.
Oh God.
Should be fixing me.
Ooh, did you?
Hedgehog, it is like triple chocolate cake. It's a really good cake.
It's quite good.
It isn't shaped like a caterpillar, but I'll probably be making another attempt tomorrow morning on the caterpillar cake.
All right, I need to figure out how to find my community tab posts because I've got my videos, but where are my community tab posts?
So are you doing you're ordering starter plugs for?
Yeah, so it turns out it's like $6 to get the starter plant of like the vanilla sweetgrass and the New Jersey tea too.
We have a little bit of a prairie between our residences at the moment, and our plan is to slowly overtake the prairie with the good plants that we want, like things we can brew into teas and stuff like that. So Callison has a large order of seed things, but I've recently got back in touch with a different author friend of mine who's tried to grow a whole bunch of tea type brewing things from scratch, from seed, and they struggled. They've failed with their success rates with seed were very low.
Am I gonna have to Google how to find my community tab?
So now we're upgrading to cuttings and plugs to hopefully increase our success rate.
Yes, because if 1/4 of my seeds survive the germination process to be transplanted, I will be happy.
Let's see. We're doing mostly low-scale planting projects this year. I have like 5 different heirloom tomato types that I'm going to try to grow to throw at Julian to see if I can find a tomato they like.
Hang on, I want to catch up with the chat here.
They're all taunting you.
No, they're all taunting you.
Well, your taunts fall on blind eyes. I am not moderating the chat today.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it on the laptop. I just have to navigate away from the stream for a minute here, and I'd rather just look at it on my phone. But can I find it? No. Frickin' frack. Wait, maybe I find it. No. No, I did not. Not in comments. Not in content. It's not in content. Shorts, lives, playlists, community tab. I know how to internet.
We've discovered earlier that people like to watch you being tortured. So YouTube has aided that and is torturing you.
It's helping.
Wasn't enough.
I need to get my lily order in soon so that we
Lotus
can plant
Studio.
a pond.
Check.
Got
It's in
seeds.
settings?
Or
Why is
lotus
it in
seeds.
You
settings?
have seeds for that?
I might be too ambitious.
Have you
but
researched how to plant or
yeah,
germinate
I
lotus
don't think
seeds?
they'll live, but it's worth a shot for $2.
Yes, we must make more picturesque places for Julian to record from.
Oh, let's see, the chat finally loaded. If I could grow coffee, I definitely would grow coffee.
It is on the list for the greenhouse. Poking some of my friends, they are thinking we will need to get a grow light for it if we want to do it year round.
I don't think I could grow enough coffee to suffice with how much I drink.
No, you
I'd
probably
have to have,
could
like,
not.
A warehouse dedicated to coffee production.
That was the other thing that my Lee was kind of staring at me a little bit cross-eyed. I mean, like, you do realize how much of that you would need to grow to, I'm like, kinda, but I'm more or less like, I just want to, like,
All right.
have a procedure that works.
I'm giving up. I'm just going to use the computer, and I'm sorry I have to
Success.
navigate away from this beautiful view of us. So I am no longer looking at the chat.
Callison, keep us informed.
Callison is now in charge.
You are not safe, chat. We still have someone's eyes.
I gotta be the moderator today.
Yeah.
Hedgehog says, to be fair, Julian tortures me when she tortures herself, and then we hate together.
It's true. Hedgehog, usually I'll be like listening to a book at work, and anytime I get into a place where I have reception, I'll be like, listen about this book, it's so horrible.
Is your life really just Stardew Valley?
Trying to make it that way.
If Stardew Valley had a possum expansion, that's great.
So I mean, like,
Determined to make the possum friend.
it would be nice if like real life had as quick a turnaround as Minecraft or Stardew Valley, but unfortunately it does not. Like Stardew Valley, you make money hand over fist in that game. We cannot support ourselves with our prairie ambitions and greenhouse ambitions.
Unfortunately, I also can't mod life to just immediately grant you $1 million.
No, I don't want podcasts, I want posts.
But yes, we have hopes that we, especially when Julian finally becomes famous and makes $1 billion off her books, that we will just retire and use that money to Stardew Valley off the property.
That's a thing that's totally 100% going to happen.
That's our cheat code.
Yeah, use a picture of Lan for that one.
Oh, cause he's so cute.
Cause he's so cute. All right. So I'll go through the assumptions that people made about me in that post, and my friends and husband here can laugh at me, and then
assumptions.
Yes. So I don't know if those kind of videos are popular anymore. They're probably not, which is why nobody made assumptions about me. A few people did. This person says that they assume that if I had a favorite Disney princess, it would be Mulan or Tiana, honorable and hardworking. Mulan is high up there. Tiana doesn't really make the list, not that she's a bad princess, but who do you think is my favorite Disney princess, Adam?
You know, like the big left alligator moment from Tiana's, I think. Did I use the phrase right?
Big lipped alligator moment?
Yeah.
And I don't mind the alligator. It's just...
Well, no, it's not that the alligator itself, but it's the moment that like this thing of the plot came out of left field. Is that because it's a term not referring specifically to the alligator that is in the anime.
So there's an alligator.
But what is your favorite Disney princess?
Yes. I have to think about it.
I mean, there's like high level, before I go like deep thoughts, Mulan is definitely up there.
And it's not because she's honorable and hardworking. It's because she has a sword.
And kicks ass.
Yep.
And a dragon, and rides a horse.
The horse is cute.
Is it Astrid, the redhead? What's her name?
Merida. Merida's pretty high up there.
Merida is impressive, but also like the movie is not as good as Mulan. Aha!
I like Merida because she comes the closest to being canonically
from Atlantis.
Kida. She was a favorite when I was a kid. So, but I think maybe like movie completely aside, I think Merida is one of my favorites just because she comes the closest to being a canonically ace Disney character. And she knows how to shoot a bow while riding a horse through a forest, and she climbs an entire mountain in a dress. Wins her own hand in marriage, so she doesn't have to marry someone. Yeah, I'm like, those are the vibes. The movie, not that great, but the princess. Okay, some assumptions. You don't like poetry, you don't like horror games, but you like scary movies. Oh, there are more. Okay, I do like poetry. I just can't write it. I'm shit at writing poetry. It's bad.
And you don't like poetry about you or to like you can't write her cheesy poetry. She doesn't. No, I'm immune to that. That does not work. But I do like poetry quite a bit.
I don't read it. I don't really seek it out a lot, but when I do, like, I have favorite poems and everything. You don't like horror games, but you like scary movies. That one's pretty accurate.
You enjoy watching Let's Plays
Yeah.
of horror games, and you, I think, would enjoy a non-jump scare based, non-quick time event based horror game.
A lot of horror games, the reason I don't play them is not because they're scary, it's because they require, like, reaction time. And, like...
What is the game you're playing right now?
It's My Time at Sandrock.
My Time at Sandrock had a quick time event for a conversation. And it's just to, like, make this decision, like, yes or no in a conversation, and they panicked and just mashed buttons.
In my defense, it does that so rarely that I was not at all ready for that to be a possibility. This game does it, like, once every, like, 5 or 6 hours of play or something more than that. You know, it's like...
The quick time events they can handle are the Mass Effect ones where it's the Renegade option is the same button every time, then you just be a badass.
I did do okay I did a Let's Play a long time ago of Tales from the Borderlands. And that one's a quick time event-based game, but I did better in that one because I knew when the quick time events were coming and what was expected of me from them. But like horror games, it's like, oh no, there's a giant monster trying to eat your face. Make the best decision very fast. And I'm like, I cannot do that.
Get ate.
Yep,
Yeah.
I get eaten. But I do like horror movies. And I like watching people play horror games. Are you keeping an eye on the chat still, Callison? How's it going?
Like, discuss any of the points.
Yeah. Been away from the chat for a while. I'm still looking at the...
Come on, MC.
First content did mention worst timeline Akatar is taught in schools.
It could be this timeline. I think we're living in the dumbest timeline currently. Not the darkest, the dumbest.
Candybug says they should send you the Masterpiece Handbook for Mortals.
That has been in the running a couple of times for read-alongs, but it never wins.
And they also mentioned the use of tarot in HFM would make Julian vomit in real time.
Yeah, I've heard that Handbook for Mortals has a tarot theme, but it's not done well.
Let's see, and then so their favorite Disney princess is my favorite Disney retcon princess is Mulan.
Retcon princess? Or are they not technically an official princess? Is that why?
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
They're counted in the group of princesses.
Yeah, I count. I think Mulan is technically in there.
I suppose if we're going real wide, Leia might actually be your favorite.
I mean, if she counts as a Disney princess, then yes.
They're technically part of Disney.
Exactly.
And they were a princess, quite literally.
All right. Is there anything else, or shall I?
There's point. I'm scrolling through it. So
okay.
Hedgehog mentions that they assume you would fly a crimson flail tail dragon.
That must be from Fourth Wing.
Maybe.
Because they're just like color and then tail.
Yeah, the tail shape.
They're just NFTs. I swear, that's what the dragons in Fourth Wing are, just NFTs. They're just like slight variations of the same dragon.
See, in my heart, Merida is aromantic and asexual because she's an arrow ace.
Good pun.
You see, it's in there.
It.
It's in there.
Insert cheesy pun here. So.
Yeah.
Then Hedgehog mentioned, I assume your flair is stopping wind, not starting wind, because just knocking it out of existence. Like when you try anything I love, knock the wind out of my sails.
It's true. Hedgehog and I have very different taste in books and movies and TV shows. So like we'll come to the other one like, check out this amazing thing that I love, and the other one will be like, thanks, I hate it.
What a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, that's how friendship works.
Hedgehog also says, your bad reaction time is going to make you watch me play a QTE game one day, someday, and if they allow them to think that they're quick on their feet. Also, I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to the comments now. And then Candy Bug says, sadly, Brave had many production issues, like changing directors multiple times.
Yep.
Apparently.
I want to see the version that it was like supposed to be originally, you know? Like everybody wants to see the version that Wish was supposed to be originally. I've not seen Wish yet, but I've heard that it is very disappointing and we could have had a much better story.
Let's see. And then We Were Here felt horror adjacent, and it might be fun for the two of you. I'm guessing it's a video game.
Yes, and it has kind of popped up on my list of things I was thinking about trying to get you to play with me. So thank you for the reminder. That is an excellent recommendation.
Let's see. And then insert cheesy pun here. Mulan isn't a princess, she just marries a general. Fun
She's
fact.
a princess in my heart, okay?
Fun fact, my high school nickname was the Punisher for obvious reasons. It's also what cheesy pun says.
The Punisher. I mean, if there's a lot more chat, I could go back to it and not make you have to keep reading it.
No.
But
I got
if
3
we catch
left.
up. Okay, we'll catch up and then we'll get back to your
Almost there.
assumptions.
And then it'll keep up
I
better.
missed cursed content saying that it's not like I'm saying we like a princess with the potential body count. What?
Yes, we do, but we do. Obviously.
Yeah, Mulan has a pretty high body count. She dropped like an entire avalanche on an army.
Entire army. Yeah.
She said, oh, I forgot, Handbook for Mortals main character also has this weird, for lack of better term, culture, but it's just an aesthetic vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the character's name and as identifying as G***Y.
Oh, the G slur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another word for Romani, which is a bad word for Romani. Yay! Love that.
All right. Our MC should be able to keep up now.
Okay.
And we can return to the assumption.
Continuing the assumptions, if you weren't a writer, you would be an entertainment reviewer of sorts, like you make videos about various shows, books, movies, games, analyzing their plots. I mean, I already do that with books, so that's not far off.
So, like, if Julian could write the world the way they wanted it for their life, they would write still, but they would be doing it for fun and just be published and people would love it. And then the other thing she would do for work or for more fun is they would be an entertainer, live action storyteller, or
I would probably be
actor,
a stage actor. If writing was not a factor in my life at all, like if I never came to it, there's a good chance I would be something like a horse trainer, vet tech, a stage actor, and I'd probably still have a YouTube channel.
If you had a choice and could just be successful at it, it would definitely be support yourself doing it stage actor. I think would be your dream.
But I don't support myself as a writer yet, so. All right, there's a couple more. You prefer sweet flavors to sour ones. That's true. And you would like the game Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I might. I'm not quite sure if it's quite my thing, but I might like it. Anything from the chat?
Let's see.
I'll do a little.
Hedgehog says, I demand Cassie's attention instinctually. I must have it. Calcifer demands Sophie's attention. I'm not going to have these ones highlighted. Firelight says, some places had Alice from Wonderland as a Disney princess.
And that if Alice counted as a youth, that would have been a favorite of yours.
I wasn't really into the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland. I like the book.
Yeah.
Nerd that I am.
Cursed content. I think Disney changed their qualifier for princess as something like marries royalty or does something heroic for the country.
Yeah. So Mulan counts because she saved China.
Badass enough that they could just yoink the title of princess away from somebody else if they wanted it.
She was right up there with the Emperor.
Stop me.
She could have gone full warlord. Who was going to stop her? She just killed Shan Yu. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Contessa Dart says, happy birthday. Gotta zip off to switch laundry. I just wanted to say thank you for all your vlogs and craft videos.
You laundry.
You don't even have to do that much laundry. I usually do the
I
laundry.
can still commiserate with cursed content, was it?
No,
Dark.
Contessa Dark.
Contessa Duck, sorry.
All right. This next one is likely to set Adam off, so I'm gonna skip that one and do the other.
Like you can just tell me
one
to shut
below
up.
it.
I can shut up and you can read it.
Oh no, I misread it. Okay, it's not gonna set you off. Okay, I misread
Alright.
it. You want to have cows someday. I've already did crows,
Oh.
and that would have definitely.
Yeah, I would have gone off
Adam
on my crow
tirade.
tangent.
Don't do it.
Okay.
It's cows.
I mean, it's still true. But
He wants cows more than I do. I do
No.
like cows.
Oh, I see. You like cows and like the idea. I think we should actually rotate in a pasture pet as a cow.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I want a pig. I want a pig real bad. He won't let me get a pig. Chat, tell Adam to let me get a pig.
I mean, you all up your Patreon support so we can afford pasture.
Right? We don't got pig
fencing.
money right now. Somebody
Keep a pig in.
Your favorite season of Doctor Who is season 4. Is that new Who or old Who? I can't tell you. I don't know what happens in season 4, so clearly it hasn't stuck with me.
Eccleston is 1, and then we've got David Tennant for how many?
I don't even know.
I think that might be the Rose arc. Rose or
whichever one has Donna
River.
in it is my favorite. I like Donna.
Yeah, and so Donna would really have been like 2 and 3, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't pay enough attention to Doctor Who to remember that. And then all your stories include ace rep. True now, wasn't always the case. Technically, Phoenix doesn't have on the page ace rep. The main character does read as demisexual. But yes, kind of. Now there's always ace rep in my books.
People are curious. Why pig?
Because I love them. They're so cute. Have you seen pigs? They're adorable and super smart, and I want one to be my friend and follow me around everywhere I go. And they make the cute little oink oink noises, and they're just the best.
I think they were right. Runaway Bride is series 4, so I think series 4 is season 4 of the second wave.
All right, good job. And I just like Donna.
Also, pig thing, great. They want a grazing pig too.
Yes.
So like smaller, cuter. Just as smart. They're all way too smart, and then can like mow our lawn for us.
Yep. So we don't have to it can just eat the same thing the horses are eating.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else in the chat, or I'll move on to?
Everyone agreed. Donna's season 4.
Okay.
Since it was Rose, Martha, Donna. Candybug says, emotional support pig. I get it now.
Yep.
Hedgehog was saying, okay, I was waiting for the practical application of a pig.
They don't like my practical application of the pig.
No, I don't want a pig for eating. I want a pig for petting. We had pigs for eating when I was a kid, and they were not pets, so they were not friendly. But I want a friendly pig.
I mean, they did chase your siblings down.
It was hilarious, but... All right. This one says, you spend an inordinate amount of time in the barn tending to your horses. This is mostly about horse stuff. You ride Western and aren't into showing. Okay, so the first one, we don't actually have a barn. But I spend a decent amount of time out with the horses. I do technically ride Western, but I don't ride with a saddle at all, ever. So the fact that I neck rein with the loose rein is basically how you can tell I ride Western anymore.
And the slouch.
And the slouch, yeah, the Western slouch. And you aren't into showing. That's true. I never was into showing. If you do compete in equestrian sports, it's casually and rodeo events. And you work cows or do cutting sports. I want to someday.
Ooh, yes, that would be so much fun.
You own and ride horses for the joy that they bring you. Yes, you absolutely love your animals. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. I don't think that's even an assumption about me. You aren't afraid of being yourself. I mean, a fairly safe assumption about me. You grew up on a ranch/farm. It was a hobby farm, and it was mostly mine.
Well, it was the last of your generational family farm.
Yes.
It had been slowly getting smaller and more concentrated, so it was just a hobby farm for you, but it is the family farmstead.
Yes.
It is the nexus of what once was a dairy farm.
Yeah, it was my grandfather's dairy farm, but he'd sold all the cows before I was born. But then I came along, and at 13 years old, I decided to start raising dairy goats because I am a weird child, or was a weird child. Now I'm a weird adult.
Didn't you ask for a rabbit and your mom gave you a goat?
No, I wanted that's kind of how it went down. I wanted a rabbit, and Mom was like, well, I don't have any friends who have rabbits, but I have a friend who has a goat. And you can have her goat for the summer to see how you like it. And I milked that goat all summer and like took excellent care of her. And next thing you know, more goats. That's how the goats happened.
Goat started.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what happens when you don't give me a rabbit. I become a dairy goat
You
farmer.
could have spent $10 on a rabbit,
But
but
no!
you gave me a free goat.
Instead, I became a dairy goat farmer.
Hedgehog says you have a people barn. And are asking what is your favorite horse color?
I like buckskin. If I could own any, like if I got to pick and choose instead of like getting rescues or whatever, I would pick a buckskin because they are gorgeous and I love them. Second place is blanket Appaloosa.
Mm.
And then Candybug says, I like it when roosters remember their dinosaur ancestors and chase people around.
It's not very fun to get attacked by one though, because they have these sharp little spurs on the back of their legs, and then they just go.
I can imagine we've got female chickens. I can imagine the males being very aggressive because the way it was is we may have let their water get low overnight one night, and all the ladies came out the next morning and were like marched right up to me and puffed up their chests and were standing around looking up to me like, "Sir, hello, our water was low." And if that was a
How
male
dare
with
you.
spurs,
He would have just been mauled. How did Adam die mauled by a rooster? Could happen.
And Chris Content says, I'm slightly anti-pig because they get huge and they can be dangerous. But also, that might have just been a bad experience at my animal hoarding coach's barn.
No, yeah.
Nice until they weren't.
The ones that we raised for meat were big, and we didn't tame them, so they were not friendly. But the one that I want would be a grazing pig, so they're smaller.
breed.
And I would obviously raise it as much as possible so that it would love me and think I was its mommy, and I would then be friends with the pig. And probably, I don't know which is more aggressive, but I'm going to assume male pigs are more aggressive, so I'd probably want a female pig. Because I don't know if you can spay and neuter pigs. I don't know if that's a thing.
I think you can, but I don't know if we could find a vet that would do it.
Yeah. Around here they'd be like, what?
It's like, wait, people usually do that at home.
We castrated our goats ourselves, so just do that for the pig. Anything else in the chat? Or
Candybug asks, are your horses NFTs who also speak to you like your long lost father figure in your head, like the dragons in Fourth Wing? This is a very serious question.
This is a very serious question. Actually, our horses look very different from each other, so they are not NFTs.
They try to all be muddy browns.
Yes. Although I do have a tendency. Mouse is my second horse in the row to have the potato body type.
Yes.
Because my previous horse, October, was built like a potato, and then Mouse, same thing, just
very potat.
Just potat.
Very fluffy potato.
Fluffy potat. Yeah, both of them. Both of my horses. After my first horse, potat. He gets the flashy, pretty horses. I am like potat. You need my potato and I will be in the woods. She is low to the ground though, so I hit less branches when we're going through the woods. It's going to be interesting when you start trail riding.
Yeah, especially because Aldiv doesn't pay the most attention to their feet either.
Yeah, no, it was kind of scary when I was in the woods with her without a trail, because I had to pay attention to the branches above me and the terrain in front of her at the same time, and I was like, oh god.
I'm not like Miskwa. I could be very comfortable on and lay down or hug the neck, and we'd figure it out. Aldiv is not there.
She's not quite. She hasn't reached that confidence level yet. Yeah, Mouse. If we can reach a really thick, dense area, I can just lay down on her neck and she'll charge through, and I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel, Mouse. Let's go. We usually come off the other side.
And then let's see. Hedgehog says, my first horse in Breath of the Wild was a blanket Appaloosa. I named him Blanket.
Aww.
Cute.
They're very pretty.
And then They said, name the next horse Potato to counteract.
It's gonna be like this gorgeous, slim creature, and its name is Potato.
Candy Bug says, Potato Horse sounds very nice, and that mouse goes her own way.
Mouse is one of those horses who definitely has like her own brain and just does her own thing, which makes her a very good trail horse. All right, this person says, you're not from this dimension. Shh, you're not supposed to reveal that to people. You got trapped here accidentally while taking a walk and couldn't find your way back. Some of your books are based on your home world. No, actually, well, I guess it counts as another dimension. I'm pretty sure I'm a fae, so.
I thought that was Esther.
No, well, yes, also that. Which two different kinds of fae. Like, she's the classic changeling child swapped at birth. I think I'm just like, there was no swapping. You have giant piles of books in your TBR because that you never touch because there isn't an audiobook version, especially indies. That's accurate. You see your favorite. I see your favorite bird as being an owl or another bird of prey. No, Adam, do you know what my favorite bird is? Little.
The ones that are around here that are like brown and small, and you're always like, oh, that's so cool, I love them. I forget what they're called though.
Is the junk one?
No, not junkos. Junkos are cute. No, my favorite bird is a wren. Little hawks wren. They're brown and they get little, and they make their song is very sweet, and I love them. So I'm not a bird of prey girly. I mean, they're fine, but like, no.
Corvids are my favorite.
Felix, yes. Cassidy, what's your favorite bird?
Oh gosh. I really think harpy eagles because they're little ear tuck, like they're permanently like surprised, but they're also like really deadly. They're just like.
You've shared some photos of the harpy eagle. I can see that. Yeah, they've got quite the look, quite the style.
And the funniest photos are of baby owls sleeping because I guess their heads are too big for their bodies. They just kind of like sploot on the ground with their head down and their little feet out.
Sploot.
It's like. For how like majestic some of them end up looking, it just looks hilarious.
All right, I'm gonna do like 2 more quick rapid fire, and then we'll go back to the chat. This person says your favorite ice cream flavor is mint chocolate chip. Incorrect. And this person says you have a weird favorite vegetable, which sounds sort of.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I have a weird favorite ice cream flavor.
When you were younger and didn't have the resources to have many ice cream flavors, mint chocolate chip was high up on
When I was young and we were super poor, there were like 3 flavors that came in giant tubs, and mint chocolate chip was one of them. So if it was chocolate, vanilla, or mint chocolate chip, I wanted the mint chocolate chip. But
now that we are posh and well off,
oh yeah, so
and can afford the custom Wisconsin ice creams. It is
the artisan
Sassy Cow's Orange Dream, which does have chocolate chips in it. It does. Orange chocolate chip.
It used to be chocolate cherry bomb made by the Chocolate Shop Company, which is local to Madison, but they discontinued it.
They got it just long enough to torture Julia.
I'm so mad. Yes, and I don't know if I have a weird favorite vegetable. I don't even know if I have a favorite vegetable. I have a favorite
You don't
vegetable.
dislike asparagus, but I wouldn't say it's your favorite. You don't clamor mushrooms.
Do mushrooms count as a vegetable?
Maybe, but you definitely the mushrooms au roux that I make for you.
I do like mushrooms a lot.
Are
cooked mushrooms
are amongst your favorites. So if that counts.
But it's weird if it counts as a vegetable. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. What of the chat, Cassidy?
All right. First content, but how do you know if a potato has a crush on you?
Ask it.
I'll let you guess what.
Keeps showing up in unexpected places. Has little ferrety nibble marks on it.
If it's brought to you by Chai the ferret.
If it has eyes for you.
What do you mean that's coming from cursed content? I feel like that should come from the pun person. They're slipping.
They're lining up for their next good one.
Oh, okay.
Let's See, and then Candy Bug says, no, it's Adam who is an interdimensional wizard. How could people get it wrong?
I don't know if he's interdimensional, but he's definitely a wizard.
I am a multi-dimensional character.
Oh, speaking of the Fae, I am not a Fae like pretty fairies. I'm from the Goblin Kingdom.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Constant replied, that's why his beard is so big, it's full of secrets.
And growing.
Secrets and many, many schemes. It's just full of schemes up in here.
Oh, Hedgehog asks, orchids are his favorite bird?
Corvids.
Corvids is what I said, which is
Crows, ravens.
Crows and ravens.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Candybug followed that up with my favorite bird is a crow and a raven for being petty and remembering grudges and knowing how to use money to buy food from vending machines in some places and to use tools.
I think, personally, if I was to pick an intelligent life form that's going to take over after the humans die out, my money's on corvids.
Yeah.
And Hedgehog says, there are like 6 hawks that circle the place next to my work in warm months. Hawks? Big birds of prey.
Probably hawks. We have a lot of eagles around here, like a preponderance of bald eagles. They're just sitting around in the trees like, Meh.
And or on the roadkill.
Yeah, on the side of the road, just
munching on the roadkill.
They're kind of derpy looking, honestly.
What? I got my scavenger. What? Leave me alone.
Right.
I took all of the photos for like, oh, how majestic the eagle, and then they just look like they're just squatting on the side of the road.
There's like blocky little bird, little head.
Candybug says the rule of the wizard is that the bigger and longer the beard means more power regardless of age.
Yes.
Power, gathering power.
Mm-hmm.
Hedgehog says your favorite vegetable is Adam. Just kidding.
Hedgehog, no, naughty. Hit Hedgehog with something colored pencil, bonk.
Insert cheesy pun says mushrooms are a vegetable, so we're good.
There you go. We're going with it. We're going with it.
And then Candybug says my favorite vegetable is the carrot, mushroom, and onions, and garlic.
Oh, that's a lot. I like raw carrots, but not cooked carrots. Cooked carrots are disgusting. They are the wrong texture.
Garlic is a favorite of you to add
I do
on,
like
not as
garlic
like a solo.
Yeah, I don't just eat garlic, but I would just eat mushrooms, which some people think is weird because they're like, that should be like a side dish, and I'm like, no.
A well-made mushroom.
Yep.
It can be the centerpiece.
All right. Let's see. You secretly want to write Westerns because you know how to write horse stuff. Honestly, I've had no inclination to write Westerns, but I do include lots of horse stuff in my books. Mm-hmm. And also, when I'm the very annoying person, all my friends are like so sick of me. When we're watching a period movie or any movie that has horses, I point out the inaccuracies. Mm-hmm. Or when they switch horses, I'll be like, that's not the same horse. Or that is the same horse. Or,
Like in Westworld with how bad they were at writing
certain ones of them. I also like to point out that actor can ride. That actor cannot ride.
After you mentioned it, I like can't unsee it in movies and shows now. Like every time there's somebody riding a horse, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. The level of panic in their eyes is a good indicator. Like if they're real stiff and look like kind of afraid at all times, they have no idea what they're doing and just received that lesson that day.
In the Wheel of Time's defense for the movie, they did either the actors knew or were like trained at least for the basic riding because they all are comfortable on their horses.
Yes, they are at least comfortable at a walk. I don't see any of them doing their own stunt riding. Mm-hmm. Unlike Tom Hiddleston. Which is one of the reasons I love him. Because I love that warhorse charge when they're charging towards the camera. That was real. That was not CGI. Nobody was on fake horses. They had the truck with the camera, and then the truck starts to drive, and the horses charge after the truck. And so Hiddleston is like doing face acting while on a charging horse, and I'm like, that's why I love this man. All right. Anything else from the chat, or shall I?
Firelight says Adam is promoting the new Dune movie. They mentioned eagles do look derpy from the front.
Or if you see one in a ditch.
Yeah.
Hard to look majestic when you're hunched over like a gremlin in the ditch.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hedgehog asks, are olives a vegetable?
I think they're a fruit, actually.
I don't actually know what they are. They might have their own classification. I'm not really sure.
I vote fruit.
Might be they've got a seed inside. That usually means a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
See, insert cheesy pun says they like mushrooms, bell peppers, and Brussels sprouts.
Ugh, I am not a Brussels sprouts girly.
They're good with curry.
Ugh. It's a texture thing. For most of the vegetables I hate, it's a texture thing. And Brussels sprouts are also bad texture, TM. Right there with cooked carrots.
Candybug says we can't commit cannibal acts in this live, and why are we here?
I don't know, why are you here?
Then Hedgehog wants you to write them a Western, fantasy Western.
Fantasy Western. I mean, I did the Victorian one, so maybe I could do Western next. I just like that era, even though technically Western era overlaps with the Victorian era, like stuff in America just doesn't interest me.
Well, wild rugged frontier, horses, and individualism. You could encapsulate that stuff and do it somewhere else. And
all of my cowboys would be realistically gay. And then everybody would be like, why are you making the cowboys gay? And I could be like, they were gay. That's why. That's historically
Why'd you make the cowboys straight?
Yeah, that's a better question.
And then Hedgehog also says it's not annoying, it's great horse commentary.
I'm glad someone appreciates it.
You've been brainwashed.
They want a hunched over gremlin eagle as their heraldry.
I feel like you should design that one, Kathy.
Yeah.
With a foot like on a dead deer carcass that's all like mangled.
So we can have the harpy and the gremlin eagle.
Gremlin eagle hunched over.
Dangly intestines in the claw.
We're gonna have to make this happen.
Yep.
And then Candybug says, I'm the annoying person for media stuff for paying attention to the plot, character, and world lore for consistency and logic. This also means I remember lore for media I dislike very well. It's a curse.
That is unfortunate. I can forget stuff fairly easily if I'm not having a good time.
That's my dream job, is a continuity editor for like books and video games, and be like, that is not how you designed your lore. Bad content creator, go back to your lore.
He is very useful that way in my books, though, because he will be like, that's not what you said on page 20. And I'll be like, fuck. It's handy to have.
And then Hedgehog says, that's why I'm saying write me a Western. The gay.
I'll just be gay.
And insert cheesy pun says also a realistic Western would feature a sex worker as the main character because sex workers ran the West.
Yeah, no, women were in charge of a lot of shit. And also there were a lot of brown people. But that also gets gay people, brown people, and women were running the West. And we're out here like white men as far as the eye can see. Straight white men.
Nothing else existed.
All right, so I'm gonna get these last three, and then we'll go back to the chat. This one is, you enjoy xenofiction, which I think refers to alien smut, but I'm not entirely positive.
It's not necessarily alien smut, but non-humans and oftentimes alien, but not.
I guess if like Redwall and stuff qualifies because it's not human. Although I don't read that very much anymore. I used to be a lot more into like anthro, I guess you could call it, books when I was a kid, but not so much anymore. I don't reach for that very much these days. This person says, I assume you're turning 30, 40. I have no idea how ages work. Teen television has conditioned me to believe that teens look like 30-year-olds.
Right?
Oh, also, this one I wanted to read this one. I believe you have a fully grown child, right? So you have to be like 40. Making assumptions is hard. I do have a fully grown child, and I am not 40.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Some people in the chat know. I'm gonna don't explain it. We'll come back for it.
We'll say we cheated, but then we'll move on. Yeah.
And finally, this person says, I assume you might not hate something I write. There's a very good chance of it. If I read something you write, I probably won't hate it.
Good. If it was a complimentary letter, I'm fairly certain they wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. This is praise for Julian. Wow, there's only 5 of you, and you've been keeping up the conversation pretty well. Good job, everybody.
Thank you for participating.
Solid.
And appreciating my luxurious mane.
All right, let's see if I can get back up at the chat. I do have one more on Instagram. I posted there too. One more assumption somewhere, but let's see. Olives or vegetables? Realistic Western. You know what they say about saving horses? We used to have all the money and land, and still do, but it's not as fun now. I don't know what they say about saving horses. Why did you make the Norse gods cis and straight also that?
Like any of the gods,
any
and straight.
Gods,
I mean,
even Zeus, famously lover of women, had one gay lover who he liked very much. So
I was very entertained. I don't know where I saw it, but there was this couple posing in him and hers church shirts with the arrow, and I was like, I'm her Zeus, and she's like, I'm his Hera. I'm like, oh
God, no. Oh, we dropped to like 3. Oh no, it's back up to 4. Okay, save a horse, ride a cowboy. I see. I'm 2 A's for that.
That one.
I was like, yeah, keep the cowboy. I don't need him. I still think you should still send your adult child to a dangerous dragon rider school to fulfill your dream. They didn't want to find a hot, broody, spicy white guy who will patronize all of their choices. That is the goal as a parent.
And I think the adult child would go along, be okay with most of that.
Dragon school will probably be fine.
Hot, angsty boy as well.
Maybe.
Patronizing all of their choices, they would not be on board for that part of
it. All right, the one assumption from Instagram. You don't like writing contemporary novels, especially if they don't have a fantasy flair to them. Kind of true. They need to have some kind of supernatural bullshit going on, like zombies or whatever's happening in second floor.
Well, yeah, because second floor is a contemporary.
Yep. And I also have a lot of other zombie fiction floating around that you can read for free on Wattpad. So, yeah, it's got to have some sort of supernatural element, or I'm not interested. Those are all the assumptions about me. Feel free to make more in the chat. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'm just vibing here. My companions may eventually leave me, but I'm gonna color some postcards because I haven't gotten around to coloring them yet. I'm a bad person. And my defense this week was really, really busy.
I mean, we are only halfway through the month. It is a short month.
Yeah. Hedgehog is still flirting with you in the chat, Cassidy. Oh, good. You're flirting back. Excellent. If anything, the good marriage in Greek mythology is Eros, and I'm assuming that Eros/Cupid and Psyche, and is stars the woman. I think there were some typos in there, and I'm not 100% sure. But I do think that Cupid and Psyche have, from my understanding, a fairly good relationship, especially versus all of the other gods. Hedgehog Dilemma says you are such a typical Aquarius, is my assumption. So typical. Yeah, we have talked about this because I am not what people usually like. People are either like Aquariuses are weird little aliens, so I guess I could see that, or they're like really really sexual and like into really sexual kinky stuff, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
nope. Afraid not there, friends. Ah, the Ace Aquarius.
Wisconsin's really getting its act together. Earlier, a few months ago, we became the first state to have a state mixed drink, which is the brandy old fashioned.
Mhm.
And just recently, we've declared Friday the official fish fry day.
Why did we have to declare that? That was just like obvious.
I was gonna say it's like a well-known
Everybody, fun fact, on Friday, every single person in Wisconsin goes out for fish fry. Every single one of them. It's just the rules. Or else you can't be a Wisconsinite. Now I'm coloring. Cassidy, you want to keep being in charge of the chat?
Sure.
You can say no.
Insert Cheesy Pond did say they posted on the birthday post.
Oh,
I'm seeing
the one from today?
I'm not sure. Reposting from the B-Day post. Oh, they copied it here.
Okay.
I just hadn't read far enough. Firelight says they have another one, and Julian has a secret pet that Adam doesn't know about.
The chunky, wow, brain fart.
Possum?
Possum, I know about. Is there?
Secret
I mean,
pet.
it is very possible that they could have a secret pet I wouldn't know about. I mean, it would be hard for them to like not share it with me anyways, but
I would want to talk about it.
Turns out there's another ferret. It just looks identical.
Just looks exactly like Chai and Tendy.
It's definitely, if Julian had discovered a secret room in this house and had not informed me about it, they would definitely keep extra pets in
It's just full of animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then insert Cheesy Puns assumptions are: one, you had a goth slash punk slash emo phase in middle or high school that still haunts your adulthood.
I like that assumption.
It's an interesting assumption. I listened to a lot of emo music when I was younger, but I did not dress in any of those aesthetics, mostly because we could not afford to dress in any aesthetic. My aesthetic was clothes that we could get from the thrift store or that people in our church gave us for free.
You're making me say this word. 2, you don't like the word moist.
I am completely ambivalent to the word moist. I don't understand why everybody hates it so much, honestly. You know, there's a, what is the word that I hate? I'm not very fond of the word murmur. It's mostly because there was a book that I read that the characters never said anything. They murmured every single line, and that ruined the word murmur for me. And now I will not use it in my books. I maybe use it like once per book, because I hate it.
You hear anybody use that word, and the fact that this book used it constantly is just strange.
I was like, why are you like this?
Their third assumption is that you went down the gifted student to burnout adults pipeline.
Nope, because I was homeschooled.
I mean,
nobody considered me gifted, but that's because I was up against my siblings who were all younger than me. So
that's what I'm saying. You was the most advanced student your teacher had.
The teacher who was my mother. I don't think I would have been a gifted student. Like maybe for reading, I definitely would have been like way ahead in my reading level, but like I don't think I would have been considered a gifted student when I went. If I had gone to public school, I think it would have just been average.
I feel I very much fell into that category, but then like after like failing out of 2 college tracks and losing a job or 2, I reevaluated and learned how to study and picked up other skills.
We're gonna have to cheat the system.
No, before he was cheating the system, that was the problem.
Yeah. I will share an entertaining story for the entertainment of the chat that is still here.
It better be entertaining.
I was really good at math going through high school, and it infuriated my math teachers because their lessons were so slow and boring for me. I'd literally pass out and sleep through their class, and then like wake up and do the assignment or the test and go home. And like they would eventually get harder, but one of my professors was like so pissed off at it and me, he made me sit in the front 2 feet away from him, and that still wouldn't keep me awake. So then he got a squirt bottle out and he would literally spray me in the face to wake me up. He was the most successful in keeping me awake, but that wasn't the threat of the squirt bottle wasn't enough to keep me awake, but he would every day spray me down with his little water bottle.
I just imagine him just like teaching the class without breaking his stride. He's still teaching the class. Squirt, squirt. Just keeps going.
Pretty much. That is what eventually started happening. Yes.
I wonder if he had like a cat at home or something, but I developed like the good squirt bottle aim.
So this will date me a little bit, but he was teaching a significant part of the class with an overhead projector and little transparency slides that you write on. So his squirt bottle was there to clean off his slide to do it again. So he's like,
Was he squirting it with Windex?
I don't know, it was wet.
Okay. Did it smell?
I don't remember. It might have. But yeah.
You shouldn't squirt students with Windex, everyone. Everyone listening at home, don't do that.
But yeah, no.
Water is fine.
Curse content says Persephone and Hades have maybe also a good relationship, which is saying something because you know.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. Like, she's either there voluntarily and she loves it, or he kidnapped her and she hates it. Like, it kind of just depends on which sort of version you're going with.
Mm-hmm.
And Candy Bug follows up with Psyche is the lead character of her myth. Sorry about the typos. And that in comparison to Hera and Zeus, most marriages look better.
Well, yeah. Any marriage could look better than Hera and Zeus.
Yeah.
And then Hedgehog says the secret pet is the pig.
Secret pig.
And they assume you cannot whistle.
I can whistle.
Can
I'm
you?
not very good at it,
Oh.
but I can do it.
I would say you can't whistle.
I am not good at whistling. Sometimes I can whistle.
Candy Bug says someone becomes the god of divorce to just break up Zeus and Hera so people don't have to deal with their shit hurting people anymore. Though Zeus seems to be bad regardless of marriage status.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be married. He's just
Yeah.
a terrible, terrible guy.
I love this word. Hedgehog Dilemma just said shrugs with one shoulder.
Hedgehog Dilemma, stop. Trying to give you trauma. Hedgehog Dilemma, shrug one shoulder, take a drink.
Violet says, I saw someone who got only orange barn cats and kept getting more orange cats. Their husband doesn't know how many cats they have.
People in the horse world joke about that, like with bay horses, because they all look the same. So you just keep getting more and more bay horses. What? It's the same horse.
Curse content said, my theory is that your secret pet is actually many, many more ferrets than we not know about. But you skillfully swap them out and pass them off as each other.
We do have a lot of brown ones right now.
I can't tell them apart, so you could have like 10 brown ones. I would just assume I only ever see 3 at a time.
There was a period where we could not tell them apart.
For a while, Chai and Tendi were identical, and that was the only way you could tell is if you pick them. If you pick them up, Chai was the one who clearly does like crunches all day long because she's like She's a dense little creature. And Tendy is the one who will grab you. That's the only way we can tell.
Firelight says they hate the word chuckled.
I'm ambivalent to the word chuckled myself, but I do know that people overuse it.
Candybug followed up with, murmur is a popular word in many books inspired by Twilight / 50 Shades, which really likes that word and refuses to use talk, stud, or anything else, really.
Yeah. Where's that brown?
Firelight mentions they weren't a gifted kid because they're pretty sure they had a learning disability.
I definitely have a learning disability, which is why I would have math in a public school setting would have made me cry on a daily basis.
So I was lucky to have transferred schools because they didn't know how to read my transcripts. They just kept putting me in algebra for like 3 years.
The same class over and over again.
Yeah, it's like, can you really use either algebra or geometry outside of class anyway?
Have not used it one time.
No.
Candybug says they suck at math in high school, but I was better at most subjects in college. I think it had something to do with having a more developed brain.
Also that, I'm sure that helps.
Yeah. I struggled up until 4th grade, I think because I also had a learning disability. And then in 4th grade, like, my brain figured out like an interpretation mechanism to like translate neurotypical into Adam. And then I'm like, aha, I figured it out. And then like 5th to 12th grade, a lot of it was just like mostly repeating with a slight build on stuff. So I'm like, aha, I really got it figured out. And then college is like, okay, now for new shit. I'm like, no good.
College is when I learned I have to write the same paragraph over like 20 times in order to remember anything.
That is unfortunate.
Hedgehog says you would remember the smell of Windex.
Okay, so probably was not sprayed with Windex then. It might have had a green tint to it, but it was probably just water. I'm sure that old teacher wouldn't have sprayed chemicals at a student he was pissed off at on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
Candybug says Adam is also a cat who needs to be water sprayed. Very interesting facts indeed.
Okay, what type of cat would everybody be? I would be a barn cat who, I thought about this. I would be a barn cat because I would show up every now and then whenever I feel like it, and I want a lot of attention from you, but only a very specific kind, and if you guess wrong, I will bite the crap out of you. And then I will disappear and you will not see me for ages, and I'm just rest assured I'm doing something cool. That's the kind of cat I am. What's everybody else?
I think I am a black tuxedo cat.
I could see that.
That likes to like surprise you and be in weird places.
So you're like around the corner and then you leap out like,
or like on a perch somewhere weird, and then what's at you? Yes.
Cassidy, what type of cat?
Harvey wants to say like the bald ones, just because they also look permanently angry.
Oh, this one's cat.
They also like being little burritos under blankets or in like a sweater. That or like my cat, where I just sleep all day, stare out the window, and go back to bed. Let's see if anyone's posted their cats yet. Firelight says they're one of the cats that go on adventures, parkouring everywhere. The ones you see with GoPros.
I would enjoy being an adventure cat too. Yes.
Adventure cat would be fun. Insert cheesy pun says that as the owner of a tuxedo cat, can't confirm. Their tuxedo is named after the penguin from Batman.
Nice.
So is it named Penguin or is it named Harold or what's the penguin's original name?
I don't know enough about Batman.
Chris Content says they'd be a bread goblin like my cat.
Our cats also really enjoy bread if given the opportunity.
Right? I don't know why, but they love
it's
it.
the texture.
Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. Did you name your cat Cobblepot? Because that's a beautiful
Oswald
cat
Chesterfield Cobblepot is a great cat name. The whole name. So when you go to your vet's office, you make them say the whole name. Like they come out. Oswald. No. Use his full name. Man, the vet had a hard enough time with Jadzia. Everybody kept asking me how to pronounce Jadzia's name, and I'm like, it's like it's spelled.
Jadzia Dax.
She's not Esri Dax. She's Jadzia Dax. Esri's a different Dax.
Oh, I thought that was the full name.
No,
Not
Esri is
Dax.
the second Dax.
There are the next Dax. Gotcha.
Yep. I had to show the vet a picture of Jadzia Dax, the character, so he knew who I was talking about. I'm gonna be loud real quick here.
And that's some of the earlier content when we discussed cats. But we're talking about schools. So Chris Content says, I think they thought I was gifted, but it's just autism.
I think that's a fairly common experience for a lot of us neurospicy types.
Yep.
Firelight said after that they wanted to ask, since you're homeschooled, did you do any research for the school parts at the start of Phoenix?
I did. I actually asked you. I remember asking you about school stuff.
Indeed, I remember that as well. Trying to remember what things you actually. I remember having several conversations about it.
I remember I asked you about grades because I did not understand grades because many homeschoolers, this is their experience. You'll meet an adult and they will immediately ask you, what grade are you in? And that means nothing to most homeschoolers because I am this grade in one subject and a different grade in another subject and a different grade in a third subject. So I'd just be like, I have no idea. And then I look like an idiot and look like my mother wasn't educating us or something.
Add 6 to your age, I think subtract 6 from your age, and that'll give you what they want to hear.
Would have been helpful when I was a kid and everybody thought my mother wasn't educating us.
Yeah, that should be around. It can be off by plus or minus 1, but it's a good general rule.
Candy Bug says, a horror story. You are trapped in the same math class despite knowing you passed the damn math class. There's a tale of hardship and being trapped in a math class you passed with your oh-so-hot rival.
The hot rival is the necessary part for sure.
See, and then back to cat content. Lunar Muse typed yeast. I think that might be their cat name. They'll have to follow up on that one.
Yeast the cat.
Oh, and insert cheesy pun says they call Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot Aussie.
You only use their full name for when they really get up to mischief.
Yeah.
Chris Content says their cat ate 2 large Thanksgiving rolls by chewing through the plastic.
Does not even kind of surprise me. I've had so many cats in my lifetime, and all of them have liked bread. I don't know, but we always had to keep the bread in a bread box. The reason it was in the bread box was not to keep it preserved or anything. It was to protect it from the cats.
Oh, I understand what Lunar Muse was talking about now, and that they're pretty sure it's the taste of yeast that cats like. And that's why they're bread goblins. Checks out.
And plus, you have the fun of getting to chew through the plastic, which everybody knows cats also love.
I'm bread goblin too. Bread is the best food.
It is.
Candy Bug sounds like a very determined cat who just wanted those rolls.
Man.
Since insert cheesy puns cat also eats bread through the bag.
Yep.
Although Chris Content cat they said their other cat stole a lot of arugula.
They also like to eat anything that's green, whether it is healthy for them or not. So we have to keep all of our plants in our bedroom because the cats aren't allowed in the bedroom because technically Adam's allergic to cats and he needs a place in the house where he won't die.
Yes.
But so all of our plants are in the bedroom because this one, I'm pointing at Giorgio, will eat them.
Yeah.
Yep, Naja eats plants too, and nothing's safe.
Yep.
Come on, yeah. That and green toys, I guess it all makes sense now. Insert cheesy pun says, I had the combo of autism and late diagnosed ADHD, so I had expectations.
It's the combo to have, man.
Yeah. Expectations. TM.
Hang on, I'm gonna be loud again.
Loud noises.
Mercy Cunningham says, I'd be an unholy Burman, like my Holly Princess Thundercloud. 70% furry, 30% fur.
I must look up what a Birdman cat looks like.
Sure. Hedgehog says they still reacted to bells with the urge to get up and move along for years after. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh. Birdman cat.
Oh my god, they're so fluffy.
Show to me. Oh my.
I bet they're like a little cloud.
So pretty. That looks like the sort of cat you purchase, and not the sort of cat that just shows up via the cat distribution system.
We'll see.
Oh my god, the kittens
I might
are so
have
cute.
good enough luck. I'm hoping I get a donkey distribution system.
The-
I
I
would
mean-
take the fluffy kitten.
The donkey distribution system is pretty good. Like, you have to wait longer. It's not nearly as frequent as the cat distribution system, but we already had the chicken distribution system hit us, so.
And the cat.
And
Chicken,
the cat.
cat, possum. I've barely been here a year.
Those donkeys are coming, you just wait.
Yeah. Candy Bug says their chickens like foam for some reason, and they have to be careful not to let any foam out.
Huh. That is weird.
That would be a chicken thing to do. They just
Yes.
like eating things they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. What's that, Peckett?
Yep. Put it in my mouth. Like, maybe
My
don't.
fellow chicken also try to eat it.
Yep.
Curse Content said, actually, recently the vet said that in vet school, the primary example they were told about hyperthyroid in cats was about a cat who jumped on top of the fridge for a loaf of bread. Huh. Alright, everyone get their cat's thyroids checked if they like bread, I guess.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hedgehog says that they're covering Talia's ears at the plant eating talk.
Get any ideas, Tali?
Oh, and so Curse Content's checking the cat for hyperthyroidism because of the bread obsession.
Mm. Nigel just had his thyroid checked and he was fine, so.
Candy Bug says that the cat wants to find another alternative to catnip as they destroy the houseplants.
They're looking for something.
They're like, one of these must get me more high.
Yep.
Insert cheesy pun says, as a bonus layer of academic pain, I also had smart parents with generational trauma regarding grades. That was always fun.
I had artistic parents. Well, okay, my mother is artistic and my grandfather was artistic. So artsy parents is what happens or what leads to a Julian type of situation. Kind of foolishly told to like follow your dreams and shit. Art is more important.
Yeah.
And now here I am.
mine would make me get good grades in math, even though half the time they couldn't do any of the multiplication or division in their own head. So they'd be like hiding a calculator under the table.
Excellent. Yes, we're parents. We're teaching you how to cheat. Good life lessons.
It's important.
You must know how, but we don't.
Yeah. For some reason, it's important that you learn these skills.
Yeah. And now I don't even feel confident doing like 2 + 2. I have at work. I have to have like my calculator out. I'm like, what if I get it wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I'm with my dyscalculia or whatever it's called, like the numbers rearrange themselves and change and turn into different numbers, and I'm just like, I can't be trusted with these numbers.
No.
Some numbers look too much like other numbers, and then they just all change.
Nah.
Are you gonna be leaving me?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the chocolate cake and a few other things, and then
I was gonna abandon us.
get me and the ring. My legs are falling asleep in the sitting on the couch with you here, and I need to get up and move a bit. And I will.
You haven't decided that you're just having so much fun, you don't want to go?
I have prezzies to drop off for people who are there. Very, very belated prezzies.
Yeah. Like, what, 2 years old?
I would say about 18 months, but maybe it's closer to 2 years old.
You're counting it like a baby is.
They-
Not 2 years.
Yeah.
24 months.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it to them before they spent a year deployed overseas, and I failed.
Yeah, one of them's for Steve, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure that he's even at the event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I have confirmed. I've got the rendezvous with Steve aligned for 8:30.
All right. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to get a move on then.
Oh, freeze. Hold on. I have to rejoin. I don't know why my phone's been kicking me out of this game.
It's like, go do something useful with your life.
I am the chat moderator.
That's right.
Indeed. The MC.
Hedgehog says, ads. Says if we didn't make computers to count for us, what did we make them for?
Exactly. Here we're all like, we need computers to make our art, and it's like, no, they were fine with the counting.
Yep, just let them deal with my math for me forever.
Let them count.
Insert cheesy pun says we struggled to bring Ozzy to the vet because he was poorly socialized. When we got him neutered, he got banned from the vet because he managed to slash the vet through the glove.
Nice.
Dang.
All of our cats are very well mannered at this time.
Yeah, it's like, here, I'll take my pound of flashes, you take mine.
We had one, growing up, we had a lot of cats around because, barn cats and whatnot. And there was this one barn cat that we went to get neutered. And he didn't have a name when he went there. But when we came to get him, they had named him Slugger because he was violent and tried to do a murder. It kept the name too. I was like, okay, his name is Slugger.
Fitting.
Yep.
Candy Fox says you're failing to explain your grade year. Sounds like the start of a comedy episode where people think Julian's mom is just keeping her home for free labor or something, and funny things happen.
Yeah, when you tell people that you're homeschooled, they automatically think that it was the standard, like you always hear about the horror stories where it's like, oh yeah, my parents kept me home, but they didn't educate me and they didn't, do any of this stuff. And it's like, no, my experience was fine. Huh?
That's why it's not as well known, only the bad experience.
It's true.
Cheesy Pun said we ended up running him through a family, friends, trap, and neuter release program, so he got the clipped ear.
Yep.
Just gets look badass. Candy Bug says that Ozzy sounds like a tough cat, and Slugger sounds like a good guard cat.
He was actually a coward but he was, if you trapped him, like you backed him into a corner, he would try to kill you. But the rest of the time, he was a big old chicken.
Curse content says when one of my cats gets her claws clipped, the other comes to have hers clipped too because she knows they get treats. See, my cat just sounds like the world is ending as she complains.
Just yelling about it. She's like, I'll let you do it, but I'm gonna yell.
Yeah. She's like, I will make your eardrums question their existence. Hedgehog says, brother's cat is strangely mean. He even comments, not to him, but I have never failed a roll when I am detecting annoying a cat, except that one.
Cat is like really good at lulling you into a false sense of security.
It's like when they like put their stomach up, like pet me, and then they just claw the crap out of it.
Yeah, we've got a barn cat right now named Ghost, and she loves to lay on her back with her little soft belly up, and it's a trap. It is not safe.
No, and she knows she's cute too. She just rides on the ground and like
She just she looks at you with her big eyes, like, go ahead, pet me.
And she like chirps while she does it too.
Yep.
She knows.
It's a trap. Also, Cassidy, you don't have to keep hanging around with me if you don't want to. If you want to, you don't have to continue to be my moderator.
I can continue being a moderator. Plus, I get sneak peeks of the colors.
Indeed. You'll also get to choose which one is yours, because I think this is your month, so it can be like this one.
Perfect timing.
Jojo is here.
Give a high five on camera.
Ooh, can you do Pete's, Jojo?
Here, I have to prime her. Jojo Pete's. Do the thing.
She knows she's on camera.
Right.
Absolutely.
A couple more pets. Get her really invested in this.
See how good these pets are, Jojo? You can have more.
Yeah, but if I just keep being stubborn, you will give me pets for me not doing anything.
There it is, Pete's! Yay! Adam taught Jojo how to do Pete's, which is high five.
Slightly less destructive than what I taught our last cat to do.
Yeah. Adam has a knack for teaching our cats tricks, and he made a horrible choice with Kinchu. The dog hears people praising somebody, and she's like, praise for me? Yay, Pete's, Jojo! The Pete's.
Oh, and then we got the little stomps.
I did get halfway to successfully training Kinchu to be an attack cat.
And that's mostly because she was already predisposed to that.
Yeah, she was like, I'll just claw your shoulders for my enjoyment.
Yep. Flesh, you don't need it. I hope everyone is appreciating our adorable cat trick for Jojo.
Now,
Alright, the pencil sharpener start with it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jojo.
Failing at my job. Jojo distracted me from the chat.
I know.
Chris Content says, I'll let you do it, but I'm going to yell. That's when I bathe Kaya in the shower. She just screams.
Yeah.
And then Hedgehog thinks I'm a fried egg. You're fire fan. I think I'm missing a joke on that one. Candy Bug says, my pets will not let me pet them unless I feed them. It's a very transactional relationship.
Dang.
Lunar Muse has checked out and wishes you a good night, Julian.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kaylee. You're cute. And then Candy says, Cat must let us know of its presence and demand pets. And they are very impressed by Giorgio's high fives.
It's a great high five.
And then Curse Content says she looks so much like one of the freshly adopted cats from the shelter.
Giorgio has a lot of doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contessa Dark asks, what was your favorite / most satisfying aha moment in your writing? Like when something clicked or you solved a problem. One perhaps noticed by a certain double.
I don't know. There have definitely been a lot of aha moments. Like, I can't pretend that there haven't been, but like, I don't know if I have one that's like a favorite one. Can I even think of one? Can you think of one, Adam?
The question was long and I lost focus. Can you summarize the question again for me?
What was a moment that maybe you helped me with that was like an aha moment with a problem I was having with my story, and then helped me, like,
you were having,
and then I realized, this solves
your
it.
story. Well, so I've helped you understand problems, but I'm struggling to find a time where, like,
You helped me solve it.
we helped you solve it.
He just points out the problems and is like, solve them on your own.
A firefly is taking predominance in my head, but I haven't found time.
I know there were aha moments while I was writing the Adventure of Mage series. But...
Yeah, like there was some magic stuff and some puzzle stuff, I think, that we worked out together. I think, like, we worked a lot on the magic system together, and I definitely helped you, like, craft it a little better, but you were also like, Adam, 90% of your ideas are crap.
Listen, you have a lot of ideas. They can't all be winners. And sometimes they can't even all be in the same book. Two more. This is like a really long stream for me. I usually don't stream this long.
I think the Adventurer Mage and Maeve's Magic, which you don't even in the first book get all of that much information about as a reader, are maybe the closest to an aha moment, but it really wasn't like a moment in time where you're like, oh.
Stars opened up.
But it was definitely like the Panther needed some help there, and I helped her flush it out. And there was like a lot of stuff that I like, what about this? What about that? What about the other thing that she's like, fuck all that shit. But there was definitely like significant contributions that came from me or came from my questioning.
Yes.
Candy Bug says that the cat remembers the washing room incident.
Time when I traumatized Giorgio.
Hedgehog comments, it's like you're sharpening the pencil in my ear.
I kind of am. I'm right next to the mic.
And like the last two times, you didn't even warn them.
Yeah, the last time I didn't.
Surprise ASMR, right? That's how it works.
Yep, it's just an ASMR channel, guys. What are you complaining about? Are you leaving me, Adam?
I am leaving you now. The vehicle is warm, and I have presents to deliver.
Say hi to all the people, but don't go too near all the people.
I will grab a mask on the way out the door. No bringing home the plague this time.
Yeah, Fezzik has masks too if you need some. Plague. No more plague. Thank you. We are good. We don't need more.
Down with the plague.
All right, I'm going to be loud again. How was that for you, Hedgehog?
Firelight asks if you've seen the video on Instagram of the kids who gave their cat a rotisserie chicken for Christmas.
I have not, but it sounds delightful.
Yeah, I think Naja would lose her mind if I gave her an entire roasted chicken.
Giorgio would probably, like, Nigel would settle down to eat it like a gentleman, and then Giorgio would run up and steal it and run off with it.
I decided my cat's birthday is like 3 days before my birthday, so maybe I'll just get her a rotisserie chicken and I'll report back on the next live stream.
Our animals, like their birthdays tend to end up just being like either what day they were adopted, or usually it's the first time that they've been to the vet, because then we can remember, like the vet will be like, it's time for their yearly exam, and I'll be like, ah, it's your birthday.
Kurt's content mentions that Kaya needed sulfur baths or dips as a kitten, so now she has bath trauma.
Uh-oh. Yep. That'll do it.
Oh, Cheesy Pun just finished a jigsaw puzzle.
Ooh.
I wish I had patience for puzzles.
Grandma activities for the win. I also do not have patience for puzzles.
Firelight says that they're slowly building their sci-fi world for their novel. It's slow going, but they can see the vague shape of it now.
I do like basically no world building beforehand. I'm just as surprised as the reader is.
Oh, and then Candybug says, so Adam has the Alex Astor Lightlark Nightbane problem of just stuffing everything in one book or series because every idea is just so good.
Yep. Sometimes contradictory ideas. Gotta have them all.
Hedgehog says, I feel like Calcifer, but instead of cooking, I sharpen.
Whenever I hear Calcifer, I think of my sister's cat, because she has a cat named Calcifer.
Right, it fits with the cat conversation.
Yep.
Insert Cheesy Pun says that Ozzy's B-Day / adoption day is the 4th of July. That makes it easy to remember.
My sister makes all of her pets' birthdays Valentine's Day. So Mint's birthday is now Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, she had her probably first birthday then.
Yep. First birthday in her new home.
Oh, so cute.
She's freaking adorable, that cat.
Oh my gosh. It's basically like a dog in a cat body.
She really, very, like, Velcro cat extraordinaire.
Yeah, that thing, I think you could, like, just walk around the street and it would just follow you.
Yep. The cat distribution system tried to give Cassidy a new cat, but she could not take on another one, so now it's with my sister.
Yep.
Living its best life.
Out of the woods, and it preferred people company to pet to, like, any toy.
Yep.
And it, like, would just the moment you pick it up, it just snuggles in on you, and it's just like
she's a scarf cat, like she'll like.
Yeah. Candybug mentions that they're working on their villain's visual design and personality for their work in progress webcomic finally.
Ooh.
The main villain is someone who fakes a found family by having a found hostage group he manages.
These are my found hostages.
That's funny.
And by found, I mean kidnapped.
Hedgehog says that sometimes Cat Calcifer would visit, and that Tolly's is Valentine's Day, ? The day after. So maybe that should just be every cat's birthday will be
right?
Valentine's Day.
Just make it Valentine's Day. All registered thoroughbreds have the same birthday, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just decided for ease for like registered thoroughbreds, they all have the same birthday. So they're all a yearling at the same time.
That's strange. Curse Content says they have a lot of trouble visualizing their characters because I just picture their in-game avatars, and that's incredibly unhelpful. And they said all food is family sized if you're an orphan. And they say it's a horse mega birthday.
But yep.
And Hedgehog wants to know what, why, and what day.
I don't have the day memorized, but it's something to do with paperwork because a lot of thoroughbreds are raced, like in horse races, and so like you need to have the ages correct for the horse races, and it's just easier to just give them all the same official birthday.
It might be off by a year or two. But
yeah, it's probably. I mean, most horses are born in the spring, so you're not probably off by that much.
Yeah. Firelight says they sent you the cat with the chicken on Instagram.
Okay, awesome. I'll look forward to that later.
And insert cheesy pun says they struggle with describing things. I always feel like my characters are stick figures existing in a void.
That's a really common problem. As a developmental editor, I can tell you that's probably the most common problem. So you're not alone. The thing that I ask for the most is like, can I get some descriptions, please? Your characters are talking in a white room, and I don't know what any of them look like. So don't feel bad. You're in good company. Pretty much everyone.
I think you mentioned it in one of your videos too, about like how people visualize things differently in their head.
Yeah, and some people can't like do visuals, and like it's a muscle like anything else. You have to get used to like when I describe, how much I describe, what I describe, but it is important. Like you can't just skip the visual descriptions. Unfortunately, we do need them. They are helpful.
Candybug says the secondary villain is based on self-insert power fantasy heroines who don't realize / accept she's chosen the evil path, and she still believes herself to be the hero.
So just Isla, then, basically.
You need to go to the bathroom.
I don't know. I took her right before the stream, so she shouldn't need to pee. But it is getting close to her.
A little bit.
Close
Do you
to her
want me
dinner
to
time. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to take her out real quick, just to see, just to make sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm abandoning the chat.
Cassidy's leaving us to be awesome and take the dog out. And the dog is like super friggin' old, so she cannot hold it for very long. Dog is 1,000,000 years old. Every time I take her to the vet, they look at her eyes and they're like, she can't see very well, huh? And I'm like, no. Where are all my good colors? The same 3 colors over and over again. Let me see how we're doing here. How soon you should describe a character and intro and how much. Yep, that's all a skill.
You need to move because you
Jojo, you do not need to go outside, Jojo. That is not a thing that you need to do.
She's like, but I've only tried it once.
She's tried it so many times. She's an evil little gremlin child. Curse content. You sent me another Light Lark meme last night. I'll have to check. Oh, it was on Tumblr. I've not been on Tumblr in like weeks. I'm so bad at social media. I'm the worst at social media.
Yeah, good job.
You can describe them, but if my brain has a fan cast, it's already too bad. True. And that's why I'm like, if you want to have any chance of your reader viewing the character the way you do, you got to describe them like soon. Because the longer you let it sit, the longer that person has already decided what your character looks like. But yeah, Candybug, my problem is that I have too many descriptions and I need to narrow it down to something manageable for my character's personalities. Yeah, I mean, that's the opposite end of the problem. I do not run into that very much as an editor so far. It's always the other thing. People don't describe enough. And so they have blank slate, faceless blank characters walking around in empty voids. They'll just be like, they're in the city. And I'll be like, great. What kind of city? And I don't want to like, I try not to talk too much about like my editing because I don't want to feel like I'm throwing shade on people, but like it's a really common problem. So don't feel bad if it's a problem that you have because it's very common apparently. And even I have to go back in and put in more descriptions sometimes when I'm editing because I will have had a very clear image of it in my head and then not actually remember that needs to go in the book. I love Chosen One's Gone Wrong. That's a trope I like to write. We should see that more. I have multiple rewrites of concepts from the read-alongs in the tank. Yeah. There's a consort competition whip where an ordinary illiterate farm boy ends up running and wins the princess's heart while fighting off rich assholes. Yeah, the secondary villain was a chosen hero who betrayed everyone in her life for a dude who nearly got her killed. This is just Isla. except for the pregnancy part, although I'm waiting for that to be next. That's the only reveal that's left for Lightlark, because we've already had every other reveal. We already found out they're married, so surprise pregnancy is next. Thank you for the happy birthday. I have a Lightlark rewrite where a bunch of royalty in charge of kingdoms with customized curses meet up to solve their problems, but the main characters are other people because the royalty is failing. Yeah, the regular people, and be interesting to see their point of view, because yeah, I would be mad if I was the regular people. I rarely comment in your videos, but I'll have you know I love them. I could listen to you rant about bad books for hours without end. Well, that's good, because I like to rant about bad books. But do feel free to comment, because the algorithm monster loves when people comment. So even if you don't really have anything to say except for like hi, that still counts. Just be like, LOL, Julian, you suck. I don't care. All right, I can't decide what color I should make this raccoon's pants. Just keep going through like the same 3 colors over and over again. Here's some more ASMR for you as I rummage through my colored pencil box. I don't really have any red here. You could have red trousers. Red trousers. I hope Cassidy isn't out there for too long. Oh, yes? No. Is it too long to do the window?
Yep.
I forgot to warn you, you have to stop her. She cannot tell the door is closed.
I thought I put my body between me and her, but I guess not sufficiently.
She real dumb. Did she manage to potty for you?
Yep.
Oh, good. Thank you for taking her.
No problem.
Yeah, it's really cold today, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's like 18 degrees earlier.
I took her for a long walk. I was like, it's so sunny and nice out. And then I got outside, and I'm like, eh. But I'm already committed to the walk.
The weather's a lie right now.
Yeah, it looked really pleasant outside, but it was not, in fact. Tippy tappy goes the doggy. And I will get you dinner shortly, doggy. We'll finish up our live stream and go get you dinner soon. I'm not in the kitchen, dog. I'm over here, actually.
She's like, I'm channeling that you will go.
Yeah, you will go in the kitchen and make me my dinner. Oh, she's like very spoiled. All right, catch up with the chat. Also, all the MCs are trans. Love to see it. Most of my MCs are ace these days. Also have a Harry Potter rewrite where the MCs are adult survivors of the Magic War, mad lessons, but the prophecy was later shown to be wrong because divination isn't reliable. Have a problem describing environments, have to work on that. Yeah, that's another skill, but very important. I do have a Lightlark rant. I filmed it today, so it'll be coming out shortly. Or not Lightlark, Nightbane rant. Basically, I just rewrite the book, but like from scratch.
I think from scratch is the only way to say that.
Yeah, I'm still haunted by Nightbane. Like, what was that? Exactly. This is why it took me so long to do that, because I wanted to erase it from my brain. I wanted to fight Alex Haster in a Denny's parking lot. Fourth Wing was bad in a bland way, but Nightbane just chose the most bonkers route to do in its plot line. I don't think you could top that madness. It'd be difficult. It'd be difficult to top that madness. Can the dog come on camera? I don't know. She might. She's blind, so like getting her over here might be a bit of an issue. She like just kind of tippy taps around the house. She's now staring out the glass doors. She can't see what she's looking at, but she likes to look out the window. She also is like mostly just lives in the living room because that's the only. She could go other places in the house, but she doesn't like to because the living room is the only place that she feels secure. If I call her, I will confuse her. So we'll see if she wanders over here. All right, one more creature to do, and I am through with my postcards. All right, and I'm also caught up with the chat. If Cassidy wants to take over her role again, she may.
I shall monitor the chat. Okay, my jacket does not contain treats. I'm sorry.
Disappointing. Are you gonna tippy tappy over here, pup? No, come over here. No, you don't need to get into the garbage. Come here. People want to see you. Come here. I know, there's stuff on the floor. No, too scary? Well, too scary. There's a blanket on the floor. She doesn't know what it is. She can see just enough to see like shapes and stuff. So like if there's something she doesn't recognize, she's afraid of it. She's like that dog in like the memes and stuff that's like, yeah, Missy girl's 1,000 years old and she dies once a night, but you just need to revive her every morning and she's fine. That's my dog. She gets specially made meals and I cook her food for her at this point. This is where we're at. And yeah, everything in her life is pretty cushy for such a freaking old dog. Old as the hills, aren't you? You want to come over?
She's up to break.
Come here. All right, come here. Kaylee. Kate, she also partially deaf. Come here. Kaylee. Oh, we gonna sniff the blanket? All right, come here. I don't have a treat. Come here. There we are. See? There she is. 1,000-year-old Methuselah dog. Here she is. Don't get too far over here. You'll get stuck. You sniffing? What are you sniffing? She's sniffing. All right, that's the dog. She is as ancient as the hills. Okay, honey, I need you to back out of here because you're gonna get stuck and you're gonna freak out. There you go. Okay. There you go. All right.
Okay, now I'll freak out.
Yeah, I'll freak out over here. Kaylee doesn't have any wisdom, I'm afraid. The last brain cell she had has been gone for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's just a tumbleweed now. Like, you look in her face and you just see the tumbleweed tumbling behind her eyes. Not a thought in that noggin. just fluff. There's nothing in there.
Firelight says that in your latest tarot reading, you said you might need to find a part-time job. They thought you had one.
I do have one. In my latest tarot reading, I must have been talking about something else or something. I don't know. I don't even remember my latest tarot reading. But I do have a part-time job already. Maybe I need another one. I don't know.
Insert cheesy pun says they also have multiple fanfics they plan on converting to original works.
I'm definitely reading a book right now that feels like a fanfic with the serial numbers filed off, which I don't have a problem with. I've done that as well, but it is very obvious to me.
Val Sterling says hello. They just joined the chat. Happy birthday, Julian.
Hello, welcome. I'm glad we could go late enough that you are able to join us.
They're following you happily for years now, and you're their fave writer tuber.
Aww.
Everyone's fanning over Kaylee, the ancient one. Tell me your wisdom.
Yep, as I said, there is no wisdom. There's none to be had. Is only tumbleweed.
Insert cheesy pun says she reminds me of a life sim character I had who was predicted to die young but lived until 120 because I kept curing her of spine cancer and making her do yoga and take walks.
I don't know how this dog has lived this long. I did not expect her to live this long. She's going to be 16 very soon. And I was like, she got to 10, and I was like, okay, brace yourself. 10 is a pretty common age for dogs to die. And then she just kept going.
Curse content says not a single thought behind those eyes. And Candybug says, don't slander the Ancient One.
The Ancient One and her tumbleweed.
I like my Ancient Ones being as confused as me in life.
She is very confused.
Chris Content says, the wheel is spinning, but the hamster is asleep.
She runs on vibes.
And then, don't know if I'll say the username correctly. The Mayan says that same to Bella Sterling about being the fave writer tuber. Insert Cheesy says, some of them are more obvious than others. My Batman fanfic is definitely going to be obvious, but the Knives Out one might be less obvious.
Sounds like a good one.
And Firelight asks if they can see the colored in postcards when you're done.
Sure, I will share. Then you can stare jealously, wondering which one people will get, and then you can be like, I want a postcard, and you can go to my Patreon at a certain level where you can get postcards every 3 months, because that's the only way I can keep up with it. No, Cassidy.
Okay, we're back.
Thank goodness there's like, let's see.
Yes.
Ooh, 10 people. 10 people in the chat. Holy crap, y'all.
Everyone needs to have the collage of postcards on their wall. Belle says that they saw you sent second floor to your editor. Good luck with publishing it later, and they're so excited to read the finished product.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I mean, it's still a very vibesy book. I didn't magically make it not that, but hopefully it makes a little bit more sense.
Firelight says this is their month, so one of these postcards will be theirs.
Yeah. It's Cassidy's as well.
Yeah. I know, I have to look through them later. I'm getting sneak peeks of all the colored in ones.
Yeah, pick out yours.
Says that the Patreon reading at the end of each of your videos is like a mantra to me at this point. The patrons' names are truly iconic.
Yep, I mean, they've been, like, there's been some people who have been there since the very beginning, and they're still my patrons. Like, holy crap, guys. I think they probably just have forgotten at this point, but but hey, I'll take it.
Candybug mentions the biggest problem they have with the fanfic to original story pipeline is that they assume me and the reader knows the original work, and it sucks so much.
Yeah, that's something that you have to remember, and like one of the biggest things about filing the serial numbers off of your fanfic is to make sure that you put in then enough context, because the fan fiction comes with its own context already built in, so you gotta put some of that in there.
Cheesy Fun says that the most telltale sign for the Knives Out fic is the grandfather character dies on his birthday. The MCs are the nurse, the grandson, and an important side character is the grandfather's mom.
All right, I got the postcards here. Let's see if they will like actually show up okay, because they're usually kind of reflective. Yep, here's the possum. Chunky boy. This is based on the possum that lives on our land now. By the way, I do postcards drawing streams every month if you want to watch me draw these. I don't usually do the coloring as a stream. And here's Badger from Wind in the Willows. The theme this month was forbidden pets, so all of these are based off of like animals that we want to have as pets but shouldn't have. Some of them are more unhinged than others, such as this velociraptor wizard necromancer. This one is a polar bear and Arctic foxes. This is a skunk version of, I've forgotten his name, the cute himbo guy from the Savior series, from the Savior sister. I can't remember his name. Asher. Somebody in the reminded me. I was like, Astor? No, that's Alex Astor's last name. Here we have a fox and a raccoon. They are friends, or maybe they're gay. We don't know. And then we have my forbidden pet of choice, a rhino, and she has a little mirror so she can see that she is a unicorn. Those are all of the postcards for this month that the lucky patrons get to have. Going on here. All right. Apparently it's 11 degrees outside, according to my phone.
Oh, fun. It felt like.
Oh, the feels like temperature is -2.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Toasty.
Yeah. Supposed to get up to 25 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, we're spoiled. With the
Yeah.
25.
Yep. It was like really warm here for like 2 days, and I was super busy both of those days because I was like, oh, it'd be a great day to go hang out with my horse. And I was like, it'll certainly be warm for like 3 days. And then the third day I was like, let's go out, hang out with my horse. And it was fucking freezing cold and miserable. And I was like, never mind.
Don't forget the ice rain.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't fun either. It's always good times here in Wisconsin. We have such great times. And then I just have to spray these with setting spray so that they can make it through the mail and not get horribly smudged. All right, well, let's see. Should we go for half an hour longer and then call it a night, everyone? What do we think? What do we want to talk about for half an hour? Let's see. I wanted a polar bear as a kid, but it would have been a terrible idea. Yeah, that would have indeed been not the best idea for a child. I need to move this close to me because I'm blind. Everything is tiny. Oh, you've held a baby raccoon. It purred and peed on you. That's adorable. Yes, I even think baby animals peeing on you is adorable. Let's see. I'm behind on the chat. No.
Okay,
Bad at this. Telltale sign. Okay, a nice outfit. I shouldn't need to read the wiki of another work to figure out your original work. Yeah. So somebody's just listing all of my patrons. Swamp Goblin Waifu. Yep.
That's an iconic name.
Yeah. I find the most. I mean, you can name yourself anything on Patreon. You can make us say anything, like Swamp Goblin Waifu, and what is the other one, like 58 kilograms of shade or something like that. Like, I find the most exhausting part of filing serial numbers off is keeping all of the parts that are necessary for the story and getting rid of everything that's not relevant. There's a lot of it is intertwined. Yep. And it depends on like how much of the fanfic you're using, like how much of the characters in the world are you using? Are you just kind of using it as a jumping off point, or is it like all of their relationships are very necessary and you need to know those relationships ahead of time? And yeah, it can be a lot. I had to invent a whole new island to justify the character's Cockney accent. Yep. Candybug, that's a genuine fear. What was the fear? Oh yeah, having to read the whole wiki of the original work to understand. Belle asks how excited I would be if people wrote a fan fiction of Maven Val for Adventure Maid. Would you read it? I would love people to write fan fiction of my work. That would be amazing. I probably wouldn't read it though, just because I don't want to be accused of taking other people's ideas for my book. Because then people will be like, that was in my fanfic or something. Although if they made them a romantic couple, then it never would happen. But I fully encourage it. I endorse it. Do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, you can't go against canon in my fanfic. If you want to make them a romantic couple and make them have the most raunchy sex in the world, fine. It's your fanfic. But it's not canon, but everybody knows that. The 50 Shades problem of storytelling, where so many parts are pointless yet necessary to progress the story. Fun fact, yep, held a baby raccoon. Yes. I've been near a baby raccoon because we had some when I was a kid that like fell out of the tree, and we like rescued them and took them to a rehabilitator, not a rehomer. but we did not pick them up or pet them because they were feral and they wanted to kill us. Oh, you petted a panda? A baby, yeah, petted a panda, and they are not fluffy. Interesting. Batman. I'm just kind of reading these at random, so I'm sorry if I'm not reading these in order. The Batman one will benefit from my own original world and serious revision of the Batman and Long Skulls and Origin. The Knives Out one is going to be an interesting to convert. I could bring up my weird Doctor Who discussion. Weird Doctor Who discussions. I mean, I could try to follow along. Hello again, doggy. Hello, I will feed you dinner as soon as we are done talking, okay? All right. Is that okay? You want to see the people again? Oh, wise tumbleweed, what wisdom do you bring? Not a thought. Like looking at her face, it's like looking into a void. But you're a happy void, aren't you? Aren't you a happy little tumbleweed brain? Don't get stuck here, okay? You'll freak out and flail around and hurt yourself. She makes bad choices, as evidenced by the fact that she just smacks into the glass window if you don't stop her, and then she acts like it's your fault. Like, how could you let me do that? Oh man, I'm bad at keeping up with the chat. I want a pet raven. I could go for a pet raven. All I can think of is how Nightbane still haunts me, and I blame you, Julian, and myself for not averting my eyes from the madness. I mean, a little bit. You did click on the videos. I can run through all my whips. I'm 20 plus because I'm a chronic book juggler. I have to write one book at a time or I would be a chronic book juggler. I need to wear horse blinders to deal with bonkers books to preserve my sanity and peace of mind. I'm filing the serial numbers off a World of Warcraft. So if you know, I'm sure you can imagine how that's going. Have you ever felt a horse's mane once that's been roached? Panda fur is rough like that, so I'm told. Huh. I had felt a horse's mane like that because I did used to do that too. My old horse, October's mane, she kept it short. She was a butch lesbian in horse form. I'd like to write a Megamind sequel, but I wouldn't be doing it halfway, and it would be so much work. And it'd also be weird to file the serial numbers off. Yeah, if you go with the appearance, maybe you could do it like, but not his appearance at all, just him, but doesn't look the way he looks. Give him a different weird appearance. I want to write so much more stuff. I can only write one project at a time. Yeah, what are you doing over there, ma'am? Oh, do not spill your water, please. Make better life choices. Haley. Much of my day is spent asking the blind dog to make better life choices. Haley, you don't need to go in there. That is not a thing that you need. You dingus.
I'll just like crouch back here and distract her.
Yeah, I think I've had the dog the entire time I've had this channel. I think she's been here the entire time, as has Nigel, I'm pretty sure. When Nigel goes, it's going to be a sad day for everyone because he is the OG. Giorgio is spelled Giorgio. If you were to pronounce it with a very flat American accent, it's Giorgio, but we pronounce it Giorgio, and I call her Jojo. My fjord needed her mane roached because it was too long and her neck flooded under it. Yeah. My October, the horse who I usually cut her mane off, just liked to stick her head into burr bushes, and her mane would get so tangled and matted that I had to just cut it off. I couldn't comb out the burrs. If I don't write all my whips at once, I give up on old whips and then restart, and then there's never progress. That's like so the opposite of how I have to do it. And it also sucked that I had to stop working on one project because it needed serious rewrites like everything. Yes, Giorgio. Speaking of which, there she is. I was like, where'd Giorgio go? Nigel's probably upstairs in my sister's room. Unless he's on his, no, he's not on his chair. When Adeline didn't want to be ridden, she'd hide by sticking her head in the mulberry bush and her face would come out purple. That's funny. She's like, nope, no horse here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can't make me do things.
Very clearly, I am gone. I definitely had some horses who, when they were being lesson horses, if they didn't want to work, Miss Quay used to do this. She'd just take and put her head in like the corner of a pasture and be like, I can't move. I'm stuck. Oh no. And then the inexperienced rider would be like, what do I do? Miss was like, oh no, I'm stuck. You can't get away. I had to learn so much horse behavior on my horse side character and mascot. So much horse video research. You should just have me read it afterward, and I will be your horse consultant. I've been thinking of adding that to my Fiverr, where you just send me the horse sections of your book, and I tell you why they're wrong. Or really any animals. Like I spend a lot of time. My clients are probably like, "Why is she like this?" I spend a lot of time in people's books correcting animals. They're probably like, thanks. That's not why I hired you. We're on to the Doctor Who. I almost said bullshit. I mean, interesting factoids. Doctor Who had one episode where they asked, what if the Doctor's companion was a Dalek? And then they immediately tossed it away. I think I should just wing it like the author of Fourth Wing and Lightlark. I mean, why am I trying to learn horse behavior for my fantasy story? Because the reason you're doing it is that I'm going to read it and I will judge you judgily. That's why you're doing it. Julian Greystoke, the horse developmental editor. That's kind of what I want to do. That's what I really secretly all I want to do. People be having horses do some bullshit, let me tell you right now. I'm like, that's physically impossible.
They just get all of their horse knowledge from like Skyrim or some video game they were.
Yeah, video games or TV shows where horses are just doing like impossible shit or never behave like horses do in real life. My focus of research is usually on history because I read a lot of historically inspired. I hate research, so I never write historical stuff. All you have to do to get Julian to read your stuff is add horse. That's a pretty good way to do it, yeah. How can I get Julian to read this? I know. Horse. And do it badly, so then I rage.
Then you get a whole video about it.
Yeah, I just be like, how did this person? I really like a niche thing that I want to do on my channel, but I just don't really have time. Is there's a person that I watch, because I don't knit, but I watch a lot of knitting community stuff for some reason. I don't know, it's soothing. And there's a person who does Can They Knit, where they look at movies and TV shows where characters knit, and she tells you whether they're actually knitting and like how long they've probably been knitting, like did they just learn for this scene or have they been knitting for a while, that kind of thing. And I want to do Can They Ride, where I do the same thing but for movies, and I'll be like, okay, well, this person clearly had one lesson, that person is terrified and about to fall off, and that person knows how to ride, but I don't have time, but I desperately want. No one would watch it. 0 people would watch it, but I want it.
I'd be invested. It has made my TV viewing experience substantially better since you pointed it out to me.
Yeah, should you ever watch it? She'd be like, oh, another episode of Can They Ride has just dropped. But judging from whenever I try to do like a horse girl video on my channel, like I was really pleased with my video for Nope, which is like a horse girl's like review of Nope, and nobody watched it. It got no traction whatsoever on my channel, and I was like, all right, message received, we do not care about the horsey stuff. Random question, how did you get to have your pen name? Is there a story behind it? Yeah. See, I do this LARP thing. She does it too.
Yep.
And my first day at the LARP, they were like, you can make up your character name. And so I named myself Julian Greystoke, just kind of randomly off the top of my head. And now it is my identity everywhere. And I think more people know me as Julian Greystoke than know me as my given name, because my given name is incredibly boring. So I don't really use it. But yes, my pen name is pretty much my actual name at this point in my life, honestly. Just watch a Disney movie with a cartoon horse. That's all I need for horse research. Yep. They basically behave like giant dogs. That's what Disney thinks they do. Actually, they're closer to cats in their behavior. They're like really big cats with clubs for feet. A lot of opinions. Fun fact, horses can pinball around the forest with no leash to the earth. That sounds like a thing. I'd watch it. Firelight. Two people would watch Can They Ride. I'll make a separate channel for it.
Put it on Patreon.
Yep. I look into history for story inspiration, especially for politicking and battle maneuvering and stuff. I remember a Tumblr post that said Lord of the Rings, I think they couldn't get enough men. Oh yeah, they couldn't get enough men who could ride, so they hired most of the riders of Rohan are just women with beards.
I think it was Aragorn's actor who had like a crush on one of the women with the beard too.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, Viggo Mortensen can ride and likes horses, and that's adorable. Horse girl saving the Lord of the Rings. Heck yeah. Giant puppies with no attention span? Not. Like I said, they're more like cats. So they can pay a lot of attention if they feel like it. Really good way to learn to not have an ego is to hang around horses. Because like you think you're going to go out there and be the horse whisperer and they're going to love you and hang around you. And when they're done with you, they just walk away. And you're like, oh, okay. Bye, I guess. They will humble you real fast. You don't have treats? I'm out of here. Like what am I here for? You finally get a horse that wants to hang out with you though, and it's the best feeling in the world, and you feel like, oh, I have been chosen. Like yeah, like the cat that never sits on anyone's lap but finally sits on yours.
Yeah. Like all of my pain has led me to this moment.
Yep.
Like they reward you once, so you keep coming back.
Mm-hmm. They give you just enough. Yeah. Just enough. Adam's horse doesn't like me. She always gives me grumpy ears. I'll be feeding her food, and she's like, grumpy ears. And I'm like, why? And I'll go to pet her, and she's like, don't touch me. And then she sees Adam, and she's like, hi. I'm like, why are you like this? Clothing and technology, historical inspiration. Yeah, definitely I'm a lot more of like a clothing girly for inspiration. Like mostly why I like the Victorian era is because I like the fashion.
Great era for fashion.
It is, yep, I love it. I find myself mostly drawn to the 1980s for some reason. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure my horse boy is accurate and loves his horse despite being traumatized. So being a traumatized social disaster since his people is based on the Mongols, you know, the biggest horse riders in history. Yeah, that makes him, you know, inclined to be a horse guy. The Dog's Purpose series really missed the boat when they had the dog reincarnated. Should have regenerated like a Time Lord dog. I've been a cat whisperer since the age of 6 or something. And I mean, some people are more horsey, and horses just like them better for some reason. It's unfortunate when you're not horsey and you want to go hang out with horses and they're like, ew. Especially mares. Mares are like the popular mean girls. They're like, why are you speaking to me? Don't touch me. They have a lot of thoughts and feelings. Will Adam come back to your videos? I remember the Zenith read along was very enjoyable with his input too. Probably not. It's really hard for him to join my read alongs because I usually film them while he's working. So he's probably not going to join me for very many videos, unfortunately. But he often MCs, once again, encouraging people to come to the postcard streams. He often MCs them. So you could have more Adam in your life if you come to the postcard streams. I hate describing clothing and food. I love describing clothing and food. It's like my favorite, besides describing people. One of my worlds is just steampunk, diesel punk, deco punk? I don't know what that is. Mashup for multiple decades of clothing, so I can have fashion eras in all the fashion eras in the world. I mean, yeah, that is definitely fun.
I'll have to see what deco punk is. It
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Look it up, Cassidy.
All right.
I'll just make Cassidy do everything.
Yep. I'm a less cool Adam stand-in for the night.
Whatever. Everybody, next time Adam's on, all of you need to be like, where's Cassidy? Why isn't Cassidy here? We wanted to see Cassidy.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Photos.
Oh, okay. It's a little bit 20s
Yeah.
inspired?
See?
Yeah. Interesting. Like I said, new patron level, $75, Rhino level, boss Adam around. I go all over the place for times in my stories, but I like steampunk, and I like to call my stories techno fantasy like Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. Deco punk is based on the Art Deco period. Okay, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Inscription is hard. You get used to it, like any skill. You just get better at it, practice it. Is now the Cassidy show. All right, get over here. Get in my spot. As if you've taken over. 1920s and 30s instead of the 1890s and 1900s for the steampunk. It is hard. Everybody's got different strengths as a writer, and it's okay to know what your weaknesses are and what you need to work on. In fact, it's better if you know that instead of just pretending you don't have any. Cough, Jenna Moresi, cough. I got it. It's not a stream until I throw a little shade at Jenna Moresi. For some reason, I was picturing disco punk. That would be interesting too.
That would be fun.
I think disco punk is just like cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Kind of the same vibes.
The diesel punk, some of the outfits would be pretty fun to wear.
Ooh,
Like aviator.
interesting. Yeah, the like aviator pants going on.
Yep. The chicken leg pants.
Yep. There's so many punk things. Interesting. Ooh, long coats. Anything that has long coats, I'm on board for.
Right? We need to bring back long coats.
I have so many long coats in my closet. I need more reason to wear them. Julian, I just act like I know what I'm doing for my stories and look to that 50 Shades author and how to act and just yell at everyone and sue fanfic sites for stealing my original fanfic work. Yeah, that's how you do it. But it's really best if you read reviews, and if anybody gives you below a 5-star, you go after them, dox them, and threaten their family. That's the classic standard way of dealing with it. Really. I'm sure by this point, because everybody watches Reads with Rachel and such, you've all heard about the crazy stuff that's going on in the writer world, where this one author got like really insecure and had a mental breakdown, and also and like targeted a bunch of fellow authors, but also most of them turned out to be authors of color. So it's like, okay, you had a mental breakdown, okay, and you were like having a psychotic break or something. That's bad and no fun. But also, why did it make you racist? Like that's the flaw in that statement. Like, oh, everybody's like, I've had a lot of hard mental health times, but it's never made me racist. I'm ordinarily not a visual thinker. I think in a narrated interior monologue, and when I think about my stories, I can see them like a movie. Julie needs to write Adventure Mage 4, where they go to Deco Punk Land. If you give me a 4 out of 5, you are dead to me. Yeah, Kate Corain, that's the name of the person who had a psychotic break and became racist there briefly, but apparently is not. It's totally not. It just was bad luck that all of the authors that they 1-star bombed were authors of color. Just random. Crazy random happenstance. A friend of the show, Reads with Rachel, covered the issue and read the book. Yep. If you're not watching Reads with Rachel, what are you doing with yourself? Because if you like my channel, you'll like her channel. So go check that out. Not that she needs my help. She has very, very many subscribers, but I'll still send people her way because it's entertaining. Her stuff is very entertaining. I'm stealing an anti-anxiety exercise. 5 things that the character sees, 4 things that the character smells, etc. That's a good way to do it. Usually when I introduce a character, I pick 3 things about them and like highlight those things. So like what I usually use like hair color and eye color and build, but it could be anything. Sometimes it's like they have weird teeth. I don't know. I've been following one of the authors they went after for a while. Yeah, I should check out more of the books that were targeted by this silliness, this nonsense, this tomfoolery. I think Rachel said she had a good reason to feel insecure, but I haven't finished the book review. I usually have to force myself to pause and describe. I mean, yeah, and I do go in and add more descriptions when I edit. Like, especially if I'm really flowing, I sometimes miss out the descriptions and then I go back and I'm like, oops, nobody actually knows what this place looks like until I tell them. They are a POC author. They wrote So Let Them Burn. Hello, Rin. Thank you for the birthday wishes. We are about to end the stream, but we have a few more minutes, so feel free to hang out and vibe. We're just talking about random stuff at this point. It's just completely devolved into just a chatting stream, talking about whatever writer controversies we can come up with. Oh, I told YouTube to do like the least amount of ads. Insert them automatically, but do the least amount.
I was able to skip it, so everyone should be back now.
Okay. I can't say that I do make cool character concepts. Well, that's good. I don't understand how you drop the money bag so hard. Kate Corain could have done nothing and won like Luigi. It's true. All they had to do was just their book was already picked up. It was going to be published. I think it had been optioned as like, or no, it wasn't optioned as a TV show, but it wasn't already in book boxes, which is secretly a dream of mine, is to have my book in like book boxes. So like they were doing fine, and then they panicked and got really insecure and just made the worst life choices. Yep. Yes, I follow Jiren Zhao on Tumblr. Seeing the whole Kate Corain thing drop was wild. Yeah, I do have, speaking of Jiren Zhao, I do have a review of Iron Widow coming soon. It's in the queue. It's got a few videos ahead of it, but it'll get here. Except Reads with Rachel. Except Reads with Rachel read the book. The drama was inevitable. Yeah. The drama was inevitable. I mean, she would. Sorry, I believe they use she they, but I'll try to use they. I believe if they had gotten published and then started to get like bad, not even bad, just like 3-star reviews, they probably would have freaked out and gone after reviewers, which is another thing that you should not do. I don't understand why that's a hard concept for so many writers, but apparently it is. Don't go after reviewers. So it's probably better that their book was not published, because I don't think they could handle it.
Yeah, there would have been even more instances of them making up videos and comments.
Yeah, it would have just been even worse, if that's possible, probably.
Worst PR nightmare.
Yeah. They're reading the book wrong, Julia. It's true. They're just not reading it correctly. It's not because I didn't do it right. The reader is just stupid.
That's why Nightmare is actually a great book.
Yeah, Nightbane is an amazing book if you read it correctly. Come on. I don't understand the hate towards 3-star reviews. That's not a bad score. It's just kind of meh. Yeah, I don't view 3-star reviews as bad at all. If somebody gave me a 3-star, I'm still happy about it. Like, yeah, it means that they enjoyed some parts of it, and that's pretty good. They didn't hate it outright. That's the book. They found the book inoffensive, and I'll take it. Nightbane was amazing because I digested it through a read along. Yep, that's the way to do it. All right, kids, we're gonna close off this lovely stream. Everybody, thank Cassidy for keeping us company this entire time. It was great.
Yes.
If you want to take some more
Temporary
cake with you,
What?
you want to take some more cake with you on your way out, feel free to grab some. Birthday cake. Look, Julian, you have to buy the secret edition. Oh God, this is gonna start me on a whole new rant. You have to buy the secret edition at this bookstore for a limited time. There's a secret chapter that would explain everything. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna get into a rant about how I hate special editions at different bookstores. Not gonna do it. But it's there. Know that it's there.
That'll be next live stream.
Yeah, next live stream. That's what I rant about. All right, everybody saying goodbye. I'll just let y'all say goodbye because I know there's a little bit of lag, so I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to say their goodbyes. Books are now doing the special DLC content for book stuff. It's true. It's bad.
It's like the sprayed edges collectors just started going wild, and now they're like, more special things.
So this special edition, that special edition, and each one of them is slightly different. I said I wasn't going to rant. All right, we are going to end the stream, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next month for a postcard stream. And now it's time for me to binge the read-along so I can catch up. Yes, you should indeed. You should indeed. Cheesy puns. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yay.